92 degrees in both Dallas and Fort Worth. This news also brought to you by Mark Spain Real Estate. I'm Eric Bushman. Your next news update is at 2:30. Check back several times throughout your day and keep connected, DFW, to News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3. WBAP salutes Parker. Parker, thank you for listening today to News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3.
This hour on WBAP is brought to you by the Wilhite Law Firm Injury Lawyers. Go to WilhiteWins.com.
That's WilhiteWins.com.
Hey there, welcome. This is the James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Let's go. Little known fact in our small town salute, I am the guy who started Parker. That's right. I also started Parker County, so, you can give me credit for both. But, hey, listen, it's another day, another weekend, another Joe Biden freeze, and while that's, technically not really a headline that's going to affect you, the other top story of the day, Joe Biden related, very well might. There are some people who, 4 different anonymous sources have leaked to CBS News that Biden is working on a new amnesty program. Details, does it even matter? Simon Hankinson, he's a senior research fellow at the Heritage Foundation, is going to be my first guest to explain it. So what are the rules? Who would get amnesty under this new supposed leaked plan?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Go ahead, Simon.
Sure. Well, it looks as if, and again, this is all speculative. I'm pretty sure it leaked on purpose, but about 1.1 million people who are illegal aliens, resident here illegally, but married to U.S. citizens, would be allowed something that they've called parole in place, which is kind of a made-up program that they used once before for spouses of military and veterans, and now seem to want to expand to pretty extraordinary numbers.
I thought if you married a citizen, you already got legal status.
Well, if you marry a citizen and you arrived legally, then that citizen can petition for you as a spouse, and you can fairly quickly become a green card holder and then a citizen. But if you arrived illegally, if you snuck in, then you're not allowed to go that route. There is a route that you can go. You can request a waiver, but in the law says that you're supposed to leave the country for, depending on how long you've been living here illegally, either 3 years or 10 years before you can apply to come back in. There's sort of they try to put some penalties to stop people just sort of coming in and living illegally forever and then being able to just become citizens. So this is a way to just get around that completely.
So the idea that it was leaked at the same time anonymously by 4 people, I agree with you that this was intentionally leaked, but why not have Biden come out and say it himself? I think that betrays that they're not sure if this is going to be popular or not.
I'm so cynical at this point that I really believe that it, for them, is a calculus. If they lose 9 votes and win 10, then they'll do it. And if they lose 10 and win 9, then they won't. It's not really about what they believe in. It's about what they believe they can get away with. I think if they had their way, they would essentially open the borders to anybody who showed up, and they would amnesty everybody who's here illegally. That's the basic philosophy. But they also want to win the election. So it really comes down, I think, to that kind of calculus. What can they get away with to win the maximum or just the bare number of votes that they need?
So when they propose this new amnesty, is this going to supposedly be an executive order or a bill they try and push through the House and Senate?
Oh, no, there's absolutely no way they would get a bill through the House, the Senate in this case, maybe. But you saw what happened with H.R. 2, which is the last serious attempt to do anything about illegal immigration. That passed the House. Senate won't even take it up for a vote. And then the Senate came up with they called it bipartisan because I think there was a Republican who was willing to sign on. But that was, completely watered down and locked in a huge number of illegal crossings and just had a whole bunch of other stuff that would have been disastrous. So law is impossible. This is going to be rulemaking, executive order. He's just going to tell DHS to do what they did when they let in the Cuban, Venezuelan, Nicaraguan, Haitian, Afghan, Ukrainian, family unification, and all the other types of parole that they've made up since he started.
So how on earth does any of this pass constitutional muster?
Well, it doesn't, in my view, and that of a lot of most analysts, I would say, because the law, the way it's written, the Immigration and Nationality Act, does not permit parole on a mass basis, and it doesn't. It was never designed to parole people who are already here in the country. It was supposed to be for maybe a couple hundred people a year when they had to testify in a trial or for emergency medical care, and because it was abused in the past, in 1996, Congress locked it down even tighter, and they say it has to be for significant public benefit of the United States or humanitarian reasons, and then they qualified what those reasons might be. But, if you leave a loophole, you can drive a truck through it, and then they say,
Right.
Go ahead and sue us. Yeah.
So, Simon, I am reading the minds of everyone listening right now, and everyone's going to like the third chess move on the board, and the fact that, hang on, if they amnesty all these people right now, will they be able to vote in November?
No, is the short answer. I mean, legally, no. I think there's always going to be a few. We have records here at Heritage of several thousand cases of people who voted illegally when they were not entitled to. That some of them are legal residents, some of them are illegal residents. But no, this would not allow all 1.1 million people who are, and it's a de facto amnesty. It's not an official amnesty, like they don't actually get legal status forever, but they just have an ability to apply for legal status. No, in theory, they couldn't all vote at once.
Okay, so what's the step that they really want in making all these people voters?
Well, I do think that it is part of the sort of Democratic Party's strategy long term to have people who come in vote for them. I think if the people coming into the United States illegally were all going to vote for Republicans, you would see a lot tighter border right now.
Sure.
But they're playing a long game. And I think they might be disappointed because we're starting to see that Hispanics are not a block any more than Black Americans or any other type of American are a block that you can just count on, and you can just shove everything down their throats and expect them to take it. You're seeing along the border in Texas, Hispanics who've been here for generations are starting to say, we don't actually want open borders.
I hear you. All right. Thank you very much, Sam Hankinson from Heritage Foundation, explaining some of this.
My pleasure.
All right. What do you think? Because, look, I got some ideas here. We got instead of just giving everyone who's lived here for 10 years and gotten married amnesty here, let's talk about what we should do with the illegals who are already here. First, I'm just going to ask you flat out without any caveats, what do you think should happen to the illegals who are already here? Millions have come in the last few years. It's easy to say deport them all. But that's, besides being reductive, I don't think that's what would be best for the country. Some of these guys and gals need to stay. And I don't mean like, what if Ryan Gosling's paperwork expired, or do we kick out Luka Doncic's mom? I mean, like maybe what if we give them like an IQ test and keep the top 10%, right? Or we keep the ones that started a business that actually employs citizens. You don't want to kick them out because then some Americans are going to lose their job. So if you could put some rules on it, what would it be? Or would you put no rules on it at all? So that's what we're going to talk about in the next segment. What do we do with the illegals who are already here? To jump in on the conversation, 800-288-9227. 800-288-9227. This is The James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
Coming up Tuesday morning on the WBAP Morning News, an incredible Mavs season this year. So what does the future hold for the team?
And mass amnesty after mass illegal immigration. It's looking more and more like that is becoming a reality, and soon.
I'm Ernie Brown.
I'm Carla Marion. Monty Cook has your traffic on the ones. Chief meteorologist Brad Barton has your forecast. Steve Lamb has sports. And Nicole Osei has your news updates at the top and bottom of each hour, along with your money news. And Hal J keeps us laughing.
It's all on Tuesday's WBAP Morning News, 5 till 9 on News Talk 820 WBAP. And now on FM at 93.3.
Brought to you by Retirement Planners of America.
Retired or retiring soon? Call Retirement Planners of America now for a free, no-obligation consultation. 469-331-2426. That's 469-331-2426. Call now. 469-331-2426. Are you dreading the idea of dental implants? There's no need to worry. We have Dr. Steve Brown of the Dental Implant Place here in the Metroplex. Dr. Brown is a pioneer in the minimally invasive technique that gives you a beautiful smile, reduces healing time, is much less painful, and in most cases, costs less than other dentists in our area. Dr. Brown has placed over 12,000 implants and has trained other dentists throughout the country in this revolutionary technique. Along with a compassionate, experienced staff, the whole team at the Dental Implant Place is ready and able to help you realize your dream smile.
I want to meet with you personally. Minimally invasive techniques, all-inclusive pricing, all in one place, and compassionate care. See the difference for yourself at thedentalimplantplace.com. That's thedentalimplantplace.com. Your new smile is here.
Mention this ad and receive 15% off your total price when starting new treatment in the month of June. Financing excluded.
Hey, it's Casey. Try this today. Instead of working with a company that can fix anything or has 17 divisions for different lines of work, how about going with someone who does one thing really, really well? They're not firemen. They're not a foundation repair company. They're full-time professional-grade roofing contractors that have been specializing in only this for over 20 years. If you have any leaks, missing shingles, anything that looks out of the ordinary with all the storms last week, let Blue Ribbon come out and do a free inspection for you. Schedule it right now at blueribbondfw.com. At Blue Ribbon, you won't deal with a sales guy trying to beef up their commission by selling you things you don't need. You'll work directly with the owners, John Tish and Trevor Hopkins, because they're personally involved in the day-to-day operations, which is why they're the team I trust along with so many WBAP listeners. Just read a few of their glowing reviews on their website and schedule your free inspection right now by going to blueribbondfw.com, and you'll get a free ridge vent ventilation upgrade when you mention WBAP. Nothing part-time about Blue Ribbon Roofing. Full-time, all the time, on the roof. That's blueribbondfw.com.
All properties will be released and sold on a first-come, first-choice basis this Saturday, June 22nd. Texas's first new lake in over 30 years. For the first time ever, you can buy one of these new lakefronts directly from the developer, starting at only $99.9. Yes, you can own a lakefront home site on Texas's most talked-about lake for under $100,000. Located 60 miles north of Dallas, this incredible property boasts 3 miles of gorgeous shoreline, sweeping lake views, a multi-million-dollar clubhouse, lakefront pool, fitness center, on-site marina, walking trails, and so much more. Call now to get more info or to secure a spot at the grand opening of 5 Points. And maybe you can take home a lakefront on the most coveted lake in Texas right now. All properties will be released and sold on a first-come, first-choice basis this Saturday, June 22nd. So call now, 800-675-1800. Beautiful Bow Dark Lake from only $99.9. Call 800-675-1800, 800-675-1800, 800-675-1800.
Still have about a 20 to 30 minute delay in Grand Prairie on I-30 westbound because of a crash taking up 2 left lanes just before MacArthur. Expect to be stop and go all the way back from Loop 12. There's a new crash in Dallas southbound 35E after 635. It's blocking 1 left lane, adding about 5 to 7 extra minutes from Valley View. Still dealing with that crash on 75 northbound at Caruth Haven. It's also blocking the left lane, causing about a 5-minute slowdown from Mockingbird. There's also still a disabled vehicle in Mesquite, southbound 635 at Oates. Right lane blocked here and about a 10-minute jam built up from Centerville-Ferguson. With WBAP First Traffic, I'm Colin Ellis.
This report has been sponsored by Rumble.cloud. Introducing Rumble Cloud, a platform that supports business freedom and innovation, where high performance meets pricing predictability. Visit Rumble.cloud to get started.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com, and I sell custom blinds designed for do-it-yourselfers. Unlike stock blinds offered at big box retailers, Blindster blinds are custom made for your windows and shipping is free. Don't hire an expensive pro. Do it yourself and save big at Blindster.com.
Good luck, Mavs, and the NBA Finals. We're rooting for you. News Talk 820 WBAP.
And now on 93.3 FM.
Hey there, welcome to the James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. This is a real question. What do you want to do with the illegals that are already here? Now, deport them all. Really simple. It's going to be hard. It's going to be expensive. There's going to be some negative consequences to the rest of us for doing it. But if that's your stance, that's a legit stance. I am not that hard on it. I think we want to deport most of them, but there are some exceptions to the rule that I'm going to go through. But I'd like to hear from you. I'm going to tell you my plan, but I would like to hear some plans from either you or some other people out there. 800-288-9227. 800-288-9227. Because right now the Biden administration, they've got these plans. They tell you, they've leaked out 4 different anonymous sources to the press. This is a trial balloon. This is a weather balloon. They're throwing it up there and they're seeing how well it polls. If it polls good, they'll go through with it. But make no mistake, they're not developing a plan like the CBS News says. They have the plan already out there. They just don't want to stick Joe Biden or Antony Blinken or any of the other actual members of the Biden administration behind a podium to say it out loud, because if it's not popular, it will be used against them. Anything you say can and will be used against you in an election year. See how that works? So they just floated out here for now. But make no mistake, they have an idea. They have some programs that they want to do. And so when they say a program's being developed by the White House, it's already there. They're just going to see if it flies. Unauthorized immigrants married to U.S. citizens, as long as they have lived in the U.S. for at least 10 years, they will get a path to citizenship, which means, in regular speak, amnesty. But listen, I know it's easy to say deport them all, but let me give you some other options, and maybe you can build on this, or maybe you can improve my raw ideas here. Because what if we give them an IQ test, and we keep the smartest ones? What if there's some geniuses out there? What if there's like a Nikola Tesla? Because I don't want you to get stuck in the idea that so much of our immigration problem is just people walking across the border from Mexico and Central America and maybe even South America. There's millions of people who come here and are here illegally because they overstayed their visas. They're from all over the world. They're from the Germany. They're from the Ukraine. They're from Botswana. They're from everywhere, right? And not all these people need to go. If Nikola Tesla came here illegally, we would keep him. If Elon Musk came here illegally, we should keep him. Okay? But how do we know which ones to keep? Look, okay, this is where the rules come from. So I like the idea of an IQ test, and either we keep like the top 10%, or maybe anyone that has an IQ over a 130, or maybe it should be a 140. I don't know. What rules would you set? Or would you do the opposite? We take an IQ test and anyone under 100, you got to go. What if we kept the ones who started a business? A lot of them are entrepreneurial, and they're sort of pushed in that direction because of their illegal status. It's a little harder for them to get a job at a corporation or go work for somebody else if you have to provide paperwork and they actually follow up on it. It might be a little easier to just start your own business, and that's what a lot of them do. And here's a dirty little secret. A lot of them have started businesses, and they don't just employ other illegals, they employ legal citizens. So if we go kick them out, then there's going to be a lot of Americans that will lose their jobs. So maybe we just keep the ones who started a business. Or maybe we combine these. We do the IQ test, top 10%, or anyone over a 140 gets to stay. If you started a business that employs American citizens, you get to stay. But really, my question is, like, what other tests could we have? You know, because we do want to keep the ones who have proven themselves to be successful or accomplished somehow. We do want to keep the entrepreneurs. We do want to keep the people who have these real hard, high-tech jobs. That we want to keep, you know, doctors and dentists and things like that. So I know we have a ton of people here who overstay visas, and a lot of them get a visa here to go to college or go to graduate school. And so we're talking about the smartest of the smart on planet Earth. We don't want to kick those people out. We don't want to we want to make them go work for NASA or SpaceX or something. But I'm thinking personally of a girl I knew way back in the day. I mean, this has got to be like 20-something years ago. I dated a girl whose roommate was from Italy, Sardinia. And she almost exclusively hung out with other people from Italy. And she was legal, but probably more than half of this giant group of Italians that all hung out were illegal. And no, they didn't go to Mexico and sneak across the border. They got a visa. They overstayed it. They got their college degree and they were supposed to leave, or they got their new paperwork got denied, or their renewal got denied, and they just stayed. And some of these dudes were from rich families. And so, you know, they're sending them money and they're living a great lifestyle here. And America is better because of it. These aren't the guys that are committing crimes. These aren't the guys that are going to hospital and having 8 kids on the taxpayer dime. These aren't people who go to school and they make you start new ESL classes and drain resources like that. Some of these guys have created quite a bit of wealth themselves over here. We don't want them to take it back to the other side of the planet. It doesn't do us any good if it goes back to Poland or Sardinia. But they have a hard time getting a job. So I noticed it was common for them to start their own business. If they were going to be a lawyer, they didn't go to a big law firm. They started their own. So really, we just have to remember the focus of immigration policy shouldn't be to keep everybody out. It should be controlling the flow of people into this country in a way that benefits this country. So I want to know, what rules would you add? 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. Let's go to Enrique. Turn off that radio, or I'm going to deport you, sir.
They were going to be a lawyer. They didn't even go to a big law firm. They started their own.
No. All right, so we should deport people who don't turn down their radio, like Garrett told them to. Junior and Anna, you're on the James Show. What do you think we should do with all the illegals that are here?
Well, if they're illegal, they came into the country by breaking a law. You break a law, you don't follow the law, you don't get the opportunity to stay unless you pay a penalty and then do all the paperwork. And then if you choose not to do that, then basically we garner whatever funds you have, and we use it for border security. And basically that's it. I mean, you can't just have people come into the country and not do it the right way, because then that just incentivizes people to show up at our border. And then we're giving them benefits that we all work for, which we're not going to see all of our benefits the rest of our life, but they're going to get benefits now too. I mean, come on.
Okay, some of them are, and you're absolutely right on that part. But think of someone like an Elon Musk. Now that's a ridiculous example, but just to make a point, he's from South Africa. What if we found out that he didn't fill out his renewal paperwork 10 years ago? Would America be better off if we kicked his butt out and confiscated all his wealth?
Does the rule of law mean anything?
Yes. However, we're the ones making the rule of law in my hypothetical situation here. I'm asking you what the law should be. And, the rule of law can change. We have the ability to reform, add, or delete existing laws. Are you still with me?
I get what you're saying. I mean, it makes sense in a hypothetical world. But, without having rules and rules getting broken, if you want to have leniency in some way, then make it a steep fine.
I like the steep fine idea, because I like the people that complain about the steep fine idea, Junior, because they're like, well, then that means that means you can only be here if you're rich. It's like, yeah, that's a positive. Super rich people allowing them to stay in America is a net benefit for the rest of us. So the fine idea, even though you kind of may mean it as sort of a punitive measure, is actually really good at weeding out the people that we want to stay.
Right. Well, only those that are going to benefit our society are going to be able to pay that fine, right?
Agreed.
They benefit us.
See, we got a little common ground there. It wasn't everybody after all, now was it, Junior?
Well, if you can figure out a way to squeeze money out of a rock, I mean, why not?
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you very much, Junior and Anna. All right, we got some other good calls lined up, but you're welcome to call the show. I want to hear what you think we should do with all the illegals that are already here. 800-288-9227. Maybe we should make like a big Ninja Warrior course, and whoever wins it, they get to stay. 800-288-9227. This is The James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
The world is changing rapidly. It's time you take action and become a part of something bigger. Learn a new roadmap. The roadmap to retirement through real estate investing. Learn from the best. Lifestyles Unlimited, for the backup you need to succeed.
Having the faith to move forward, and y'all have everything provided. So if I were to ever get in trouble, I could call, a mentor and say, hey, I don't know what to do. Someone is always there to guide you. I have backup.
Lisa appreciates having Lifestyles Unlimited educators and mentors in her quest to retire in 5 years or less.
It's basically just having the mentors behind you.
Join Lifestyles Unlimited today for $297. That's 60% off the regular price of the Lifestyles Unlimited Financial Freedom Program. Text the letters BAP to 88007. Once again, that's BAP to 88007. Lifestyles Unlimited. Text BAP to 88007.
This is Ernie Brown here with Jeff Jr., owner of Trajan Wealth, talking about 401ks. I've always heard 401ks were great, but you're telling me something different.
Well, 401ks are great when you're employed there. However, if you're no longer employed, you probably don't want to keep that 401k with your old employer, and you probably don't want to roll that old 401k into your new employer's plan.
Really? Why is that?
Well, most 401ks have limited investment options and can cost you thousands of dollars more in fees. And that's true even if you roll it over into your new employer's 401k. You also lose a lot of control by leaving your 401k with your old employer. If the company sells or merges, they often freeze it.
That's a great insight. If you have a 401k with an old employer, stop what you're doing and call Trajan Wealth. 469-579-3500. That's 469-579-3500. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor, paid advertisement.
Introducing Rumble Cloud, a platform that supports business freedom and innovation, where high performance meets pricing predictability. Visit rumble.cloud to get started.
You want a new bathroom, but you're worried about time, cost, and hassle. Well, let me help. Hi, it's Ernie. Your new dream bathroom is easy, fast, and affordable right now during statewide remodeling's triple savings sale. Over 80,000 projects completed means Statewide is the expert at creating the perfect bathroom at a price you can afford. Statewide is the exclusive service provider for Kohler Luckstone, and they can transform your bathroom from dated to dazzling in as little as 1 day. The time is now during the statewide triple savings sale. Savings number 1, 50% off installation on new baths or showers. Savings 2, no interest, no payments for 24 months. And savings 3, get a free $50 Walmart gift card with an in-home estimate whether you buy or not. Plus, get an extra $200 Visa gift card with purchase just by mentioning my name, Ernie Brown. Hire the team I recommend for the stunning bathroom you desire. Visit StatewideRemodeling.com now to schedule your estimate. Go to StatewideRemodeling.com today during the final days of the triple savings sale.
DFW's News, Talk, Traffic, and Weather Station. News Talk 820 WBAP. And now on FM at 93.3.
Streaming live on our free mobile app.
A Cumulus media station. Trending now.
More headaches in the Middle East involving Iranian-backed proxies. I'm Eric Bushman from the Novak Motors News Desk.
ClassicChevrolet.com. WBAP's first traffic and weather.
On the ones.
We have around a half-hour delay in Grand Prairie on I-30 westbound because of a crash just before MacArthur, blocking 2 left lanes. You're stop and go back from Loop 12. We had a crash clear up in Dallas, southbound 35E at 6:35. Still about 5 to 10 minutes of slowdown unwinding from Valley View. 75 northbound, you have a new crash in Plano. It's blocking the right lane at Spring Creek Parkway. Give yourself about 5 extra minutes for now from Parker Road. Still dealing with a crash in Dallas on 75 northbound, left lane blocked at Caruth Haven. That's close to 10 minutes of extra stop and go from Mockingbird. We also still have a disabled vehicle in Mesquite. It's blocking the right lane of southbound 635 at Oates. That's about a 10 to 15 minute jam from Centerville Ferguson. With WBAP, first traffic and weather on the ones, I'm Colin Ellis.
Why do so many Texans love Classic Chevrolet and Grapevine? We're the #1 Chevy dealership in the world. New Silverados, more than anyone. Malibus, Blazers, Equinox. Gotta visit ClassicChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive. Based on new Chevrolet registrations 2023.
The WBAP forecast, chance of storms this afternoon, mostly sunny otherwise, a high 93 degrees, heat index up to 102. It is currently 92 right now in both Dallas and Fort Worth. This news brought to you by Novak Motors. As the war in Gaza rages on, Houthis are now claiming responsibility for attacks on U.S. vessels. U.S. Central Command says the Iranian-backed terror group launched 2 anti-ship cruise missiles which struck a commercial ship in the Gulf of Aden near Yemen. White House National Security Communications Advisor John Kirby.
The Houthis are causing needless suffering across the entire region for Gazans, for the Sudanese, for the Yemenis themselves. And as I said, this is pure terrorism. There's simply no other word for it.
Kirby also confirms the U.S. is sending thousands of metric tons of goods into Gaza and will continue to do so. Your money news, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton is leading a coalition of 19 states to challenge a decision by the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission.
FERC Order 1920, which was issued last May, grants electrical grid oversight to the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission. Paxton argues that the order damages the ability of the states to regulate their electric grids efficiently and that it forces the states and their ratepayers to subsidize large-scale transmission lines to support renewable green energy. The Attorney General also argues that these regional transmission lines don't transport enough energy to justify the cost and that the new ruling from the commission will drive up rates for consumers. Sean Allen, WBAP News.
The Dow's up 229 points. NASDAQ also up 229. The S&P 500 up by 55. Again, the high today, 93. It is 92 degrees in both Dallas and Fort Worth. I'm Eric Bushman. Your next news update is at 3 o'clock. Check back several times throughout your day and keep connected, DFW, to News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3.
From the Mullen & Mullen Law Firm Sports Desk, sports. From 96.7 and 1310, The Ticket.
Game 5 of the NBA Finals tonight in Boston. Dallas Mavericks dominated in Game 4 on Friday in Dallas with their season on the line. It was their first win of the best-of-7 series. All-star Luka Doncic saying the team believes they can still win it all.
I think the most important thing is to show that we believe. I think we showed in Game 4. If we wouldn't believe, we probably wouldn't won that game. So obviously the talk is easy to talk about it, but then showing it is another thing. So I think we showed it.
A win tonight, and the Mavericks will force a Game 6 back in Dallas on Thursday. Tonight's action begins at 7:30 on ABC. Texas Rangers will play 3 games against the New York Mets beginning tonight in Arlington. It's just the 23rd time the two teams have met in regular season play, and the first time the Mets have ever been to Globe Life Field since the stadium opened in 2020. First pitch this evening at 7:05. And the USA golf team for the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris this summer has been decided. Colin Morikawa, Wyndham Clark, Xander Schauffele, and Dallas native Scotty Scheffler make the team. Texas Tech alum Ludwig Oberg will represent Sweden. Competition starts August 1st at Le Golf National. I'm Kevin Landrum.
Brought to you by the law offices of Thomas J. Henry.
According to NHTSA, in 2019, more than 5,000 people were killed in crashes involving large trucks in the U.S. If you were injured in an 18-wheeler accident, contact Thomas J. Henry. To start your claim today, visit tjhlaw.com/radio. San Antonio, Texas.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Make sure your family is well taken care of with life insurance. Protect your phones, laptops, and more with electronic device insurance. And even cover your furry friends with pet health insurance. Visit progressive.com or call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE.
Russian warships and a Russian nuclear sub are now just sitting miles off the Florida coast. Still planning on that summer family trip to Disney? What steps are the federal government and the state of Florida taking? Keep connected, DFW, for the very latest. News Talk 820 WBAP.
And now on 93.3 FM.
Hey there, welcome to News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. I'm James Parker. It's the James Show. We're asking the question, what should be done with the illegal immigrants who are already here because the Biden administration, or whatever puppet master's pulling his strings, has leaked to CBS News a new proposal that it's a whole lot of words, but it boils down to amnesty is what it is. They're just finding a chunk of people to give amnesty to that would be the most politically palatable. And I'm asking, what should you do? Now, look, if you're a person that thinks we should deport all illegals, I'm welcome to hear that. But I'm not that hard on it. There are some illegal immigrants that it would benefit America, me as a whole, if they stayed. And I was giving some examples, like a Elon Musk. If we found out his paperwork was not up to date, would it really be smart to deport him and kick out all his wealth? And no one else works for SpaceX or Tesla or any of the other 8 companies he owns. No, we don't want to kick him out. Also, if there was a dude who kicked like a 70-yard field goal and he was an illegal immigrant, let's get him amnesty immediately and sign him to the league minimum for the Cowboys. And that would be another, sort of caveat to the idea of let's just deport all of them. But what do you want to do? 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. This is Mike in Rockwall. What do you think we should do?
Hey, James, thanks for taking my call. I think that if they pay taxes and they're from this hemisphere, maybe we should let them stay as long as they're not on the government dole.
Why this hemisphere? Do you mean North Hemisphere or Western Hemisphere?
I mean the Western Hemisphere.
Why do they get preference?
Well, because all the terrorism and stuff is coming out of the Middle East and the Far East and Russia, and so I'm not so threatened by, the people from Paraguay and Brazil and stuff. Not so much, but we can't. Those guys from the Middle East and such. They're intelligent. They have high IQs, and they use that high IQ. They get well-paying jobs and stuff, and they can hide well. But they're subverting our freedoms and our very viability as a country. I think that they need to pay taxes. It need to be a means tax. Like, you can make $30,000 and pay your taxes on that $30,000. Well, then you're sucking out, the money from this country that we don't have to give to newcomers, as they want them to be called. Other than that, I'd say deport them all. But if there's going to be a line where these guys get deported and those guys don't, I think it ought to be keep it to this hemisphere. Get rid of the gang members out of El Salvador and things like that the best you can by vetting. And if they don't have a job and they're not paying taxes, and prove they're paying taxes, because a lot of people get jobs and collect cash and don't pay any taxes. So if they're not adding to the coffers of the country, that means they're a burden on us who've been here and paying our taxes, and we just don't want them, don't need them. Even the guy that mows my lawn pays taxes.
Interesting stuff. I'm still stuck on the geography of your preferences, though, because, there's a lot of people that we regret having come here from the Middle East. Think of a 9/11 or the San Bernardino Christmas party that got shot up, or the Waukesha parade massacre. Okay, there's some negative consequences from those people, but there's also negative consequences, like you even said, El Salvador, MS-13. There's negative consequences of that. There's no one from France or Spain or Ireland that's doing terror attacks or anything like that, nor are they members of hardcore criminal gangs like MS-13. There is not a Irish equivalent of MS-13. So why are you cutting them out?
Well, frankly, their numbers of illegal crossing is not near the number as of the Middle East, the Far East, China, Russia. So you don't have, when they list all the different countries and how many people coming over here, you don't see France on there, or England, or even Italy. It's just not there. So that's not really our problem. I'm trying to fix the problem, not if some people get unfairly isolated or not allowed to come in, well, that's just the way it is.
Good stuff. All right, Mike Rockwall, you gave me a lot to think about there. Yeah, if you're paying taxes, basically, Mike and Rockwall is cool with you. And also, the Western Hemisphere is another one of his. What's yours? Let's take another call here. This is Philip. Philip and Keller, you're on News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. What should we do with illegal immigrants?
Well, first off, I think we've got to ensure they haven't committed any crimes. So I don't see keeping anyone that's committed crimes. I think paying taxes is the next thing we have to consider. They have to be a productive member, so they have to be self-sufficient. They can't be on the government dole. I also think that they should have to pay a fine that should go to securing our borders for the future, because there are a lot of people that came here legally that went through the process that took years to go through that, and it really wouldn't be fair for someone to come in illegally and jump in line in the system. So I think someone that got here illegally should have to pay a fine that goes to or designated to securing the border to prevent these problems in the future.
I'm not hearing a whole lot of hardcore, deport them all kind of guys. I'm hearing if you can pay a big old fine, maybe we'll let you stay. Is that where you're standing?
Well, pay a fine and support yourself. I don't want to support a population from an insane asylum or a prison that's going to be a drain on society. But if someone wants to come here and work and pay their taxes and be a productive member of the community, I think those are the type of people that the country needs.
I hear this a lot, and I'm not accusing you of anything, Philip, but for those of you who are worried about them draining resources from the public trough, why don't we just start by not letting them take part of them in the first place? If you're an immigrant, legal or otherwise, you probably shouldn't get free public school or Medicare or Medicaid or health care or anything out of the taxpayer dole. It'd be a lot harder to gripe against them if they didn't. In fact, that's one of the main problems that we have in Texas with all the illegal immigrants is the drain in resources they are on our schools and our healthcare system. And, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying, take that same mindset and we could just apply it today and think of how many fewer people would come here if not for all the handouts that they get at your expense, Philip.
I completely agree. That's a problem that should have been addressed a long time ago, from free tuition to free health care. Our generosity over the years has created this problem somewhat ourselves by what we've allowed to continue without somebody stepping in and saying, okay, enough. We've given away the farm now. All we're doing is attracting more. We need to put a stop to this and get it back to the legal system. It's pretty difficult to have an illegal and a legal system simultaneously, and somehow the people that are trying to do this legally have been completely forgotten in the process.
Love it. All right, thank you very much. That's Philip in Keller. I'm James Parker. This is The James Show. Coming up next, we're going to talk to a brain health coach because there's a story on out of the Houston Chronicle that says extreme heat and humidity can take a toll on your mental health. I'm not so sure about that one. We'll talk about it next on The James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
Here's what we're talking about.
Dr. Ronnie Jackson, he was my doctor in the White House. He said I was the most healthy person he's ever seen.
New research finds only a few Americans are getting the recommended lung cancer screenings.
Inflation is still hotter than the Fed's goal.
The fast attack submarine USS Helena, that's the pride of Montana, of course, is in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba.
Stay connected for updates all day.
News Talk 820 WBAP.
And now on FM at 93.3.
The Wilhite Law Firm handles accident cases differently. If you're injured, we'll drive to your home. We'll return every call and keep you updated. We win big for our clients. Texas-sized settlements big. Get your free case review at WilhiteWins.com.
Prior results do not guarantee similar outcome. The Texas heat can be brutal on your vehicle. Don't get stuck on the road. Instead, have peace of mind when you visit a North Texas automobile dealer where factory-authorized parts are used by factory-trained technicians to keep your vehicle safely on the road. To find a dealership near you, visit ntxad.com.
Neil Laws, an actual cancer patient of Dr. Cavies at Texas Radiotherapy in Fort Worth.
The first meeting I had with him, he was so humble, but yet confident. It gave me that feeling that he knew what he was doing and he was going to take care of me. And Dr. Cavey made me very comfortable that when I left here, I'd be cancer-free.
I'm Dr. Cavey from Texas Radiotherapy. We specialize in advanced methods for prostate cancer care and treat you like family.
Visit TexasRadiotherapy.com today.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. An important message about your timeshare from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. Contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about timeshare cancellation.
Call 800-653-1188. 800-653-1188.
Progressive presents 10 things on a contractor's to-do list that are harder than getting a commercial auto insurance quote. Bidding a new client, giving an accurate estimate, finding affordable materials, getting a client to pay you for work you already did, getting a client to pay you, period, securing permits and workers and tools, getting those workers and tools to work together, and finding the perfect pair of overalls. Pockets, baby. But the easiest thing on a small business owner's to-do list? Seeing if you can save on commercial auto insurance. Get a quote in as little as 7 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage subject to policy terms and conditions.
Will your retirement dreams survive the next market crash? Do you have a plan for a potential 30, 40, or even 50% fall? Imagine the sacrifices you may have to make. Would you be forced to unretire? Hi, I'm Ken Moray, founder and CEO of Retirement Planners of America, here to invite you to one of our free retirement planning seminars. We'll explain our invest and protect strategy and how it is designed to protect you from the next bear market. We want your money to last as long as you do. We'll also discuss Social Security, Medicare, retirement cash flow, and more. Don't miss out on this free opportunity to expand your retirement knowledge. Sign up for a seminar today.
Call now, 469-331-2426. That's 469-331-2426.
Retirement Planners of America, RPOA.com.
Hey, Brad Barton for Clarity Windows and Doors with a shout out to all the great new folks in this area. By now, you know you've picked a great place to live. Settling in means finding where the best of everything is, even tougher when it comes to big home projects such as new windows or doors. Who's really good? Who can you trust? Well, I bet one of your new neighbors will recommend one name that's been serving North Texas families for over 20 years, including our family, and that's Clarity Windows and Doors. They've earned their 5-star rating with the best products, best service, and information to help you make the right choice for your home and budget. I can guarantee you they have some of the best, most efficient windows and doors to update and beautify your home at the same time, all backed by a lifetime parts and labor warranty. And what you're going to save on power bills? Great finance options, too, plus 20% off every other window. So give Clarity a call at 1-888-458-3630 or click them online at ClarityWindows.com. Good neighbor, timeless beauty and savings are yours with Clarity Windows and Doors.
Bring clarity to your home. Clarity Windows and Doors.
Finally had a crash clear up in Grand Prairie, 30 westbound before MacArthur. Still have slow traffic unwinding as far back as Loop 12. Looks like about 10 to 15 minutes of delay remain. Still have the wreck in Dallas, 75 northbound at Caruth Haven. It's blocking the left lane, causing about a 5 to 7 minute jam from Mockingbird. You also still have the crash 75 northbound in Plano, blocking the right lane at Spring Creek Parkway. That's also about 5 to 7 minutes of extra commute time back from Parker Road. With WBAP First Traffic, I'm Colin Ellis.
This report has been sponsored by Rumble.com. Rumble is on a mission to give people the freedom to be entertained. Join Rumble and enjoy exclusive content from creators who are empowered to express themselves freely. Visit Rumble.com or download the app and watch for free.
From the Airco AC Heating and Plumbing Studio, this is News Talk 820 WBAP, and now on FM at 93.3.
Hey there, welcome to the James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Article out of the Houston Chronicle has me questioning the Houston Chronicle. It focuses on how the extreme heat and humidity much of the country's facing right now can take a toll on your mental health. Well, let's ask someone who knows more about mental health than I do. Brain health coach Lee Richardson is back on the James Show from the Brain Performance Center just up the road here. Do you buy this? This sounds like a bit of a stretch, that experiencing extreme heat can have a toll on your mental health. What do you think, Lee?
Oh, absolutely it does. You know, when the temperatures go up, look at some of the crimes and the violence rates and how they go up. It affects some people. They get more aggressive. I know most people just get that brain fog. You know, you come in from 105 degrees and you try to pick up your computer and do some work. I know personally, I just get in that brain fog state. And I think it definitely impacts the way our brain works.
Well, then why isn't everyone in the Sahara Desert region nutty buckets?
Well, do we know whether they are or not? But I think that, we learn how to balance the heat. And certainly you make a very good point. With climate control, the issues that we're having there, it's going to become more extreme. And everybody may be nutty. But I think we have to learn how to balance it. We have to learn how to, particularly people that are more vulnerable, that autonomic nervous system in their body certainly ties into their immune system. And people with some physical health issues need to be more aware of the impact that it can have on the brain.
All right, I'm not trying to be a pain here, but I've never felt depressed or mentally unwell. I've felt sweaty. I've probably stank, and maybe not been comfortable. But I don't associate myself with this. I don't agree with this very much. That it affects my mental health to be super duper hot.
Well, it depends on how you define. You've never been depressed or you've never been anxious. Have you ever been agitated when you come in from a really, really hot day and you're all sweaty and stinky? Or are you, when you come in, are you cool with it?
Well, I may be a little agitated because I smell bad or because I'm sticky, but I'm also thinking I'm a guy who spent a lot of time outdoors and been hot 1,000 different times. And maybe people who are used to it or accustomed to it don't feel that.
Well, I do think that what your body is used to, what your norm is what the body reacts to. So certainly I know when I can deal with the heat, being a Texas girl, I can deal with the heat far better than I can the extreme cold.
See, now we're coming into a little bit of agreement here, because what I do believe is that the heat isn't the problem. It's that so many delicate little petunias out there are so used to climate control that the heat throws them off.
Well, it could be, because I can tell you one thing, the cold throws me off. I mean, when it goes below 32, I definitely feel a change in my mental attitude and my physical.
Yeah, see, now I get irritated when it's so cold it hurts. Like whenever you bump your ear and it hurts. I find that annoying. I still don't think it would make me depressed. I don't feel like it makes me depressed.
Well, only you know how it makes you feel. I think, depressed means a lot of things. To me, depressed means fatigued. And when I have felt fatigued from the hot weather. I have felt fatigued. I felt exhausted just getting in and out of the, 10 below zero. So I think it's how you define that.
Yeah, I just think there's a mindset for some people, and I don't want to just say the media, but I always feel like they're telling you that you're weak and vulnerable, and GMO vegetables are killing you, or preservatives are killing you, or it feels like adults are being treated like little kids. Like remember to drink water and wear your sunscreen. No, we're adults. We're from Texas. We can handle the sun.
Well, we should all know that, but there's no doubt about it. People, when it's nice out and it's sunny out, I feel better.
All right, Lee Richardson, can't argue with you if you got the Brain Performance Center behind you.
All right.
Thank you very much for being on the James Show again. Coming up, I'm going to talk to a doctor about another topic here. He's a plastic surgeon, and I have all kinds of questions about plastic surgery these days. A couple stories I'm going to run by him. You probably haven't heard this. There's a dude in Canada who wants the bottom surgery, but he wants both. He wants both. He wants one of those and one of hers. He wants a his and hers down there. And okay, that sounds interesting. And then also I found a charity that raises money to give little trans kids double mastectomies. I mean, is that legal or is that ethical? I don't know. So I'm going to ask a plastic surgeon next. His name's Dr. Robert Schwartz. He'll be my guest on the James Show coming up. This is News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
Company vehicle accidents are on the rise, and as a result, serious injury and deaths are on the rise as well. A company vehicle is any car, truck, van, SUV, bus, or fleet vehicle that is used for business purposes. If you or a loved one has been in an accident with a company vehicle, call Thomas J. Henry. We handle serious company vehicle accidents and get serious results. Call Thomas J. Henry today. Available 24/7, nights and weekends.
Dallas, Fort Worth, and San Antonio, Texas.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies supplements, changing the world one life at a time.
I work for the New York City Fire Department. I've been using Balance of Nature for 8 years, I believe. It's been phenomenal. And I just got retired after 33 years. I work long hours, a lot of overtime. I teach at the Fire Academy. I run with the mornings. I work out all the time. And your product has been so successful for me in my regiment. I have nothing but high praise for you guys.
Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com and sign up as a new preferred customer. And for a limited time, get 35% off your first order, plus $10 off any additional sets. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code DALLAS.
Sell your home stress-free this summer with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. You can save time and make the most money. Hi, this is Mark Spain, and our offers are the strongest in the industry. When you get a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate, you can sell your home stress-free and avoid the hassle of costly repairs. There are no showings, no open houses, and no stress. Our guaranteed offer keeps you in control. One of our clients, Caitlin, said, working with Mark Spain Real Estate was so easy, and they exceeded my expectations. It was a very competitive real estate market, and they helped us accomplish our goals. I would 100% work with Mark Spain Real Estate again. Don't worry about the inconveniences of selling your home. The guaranteed offer makes selling your home easy. I've been serving homeowners for nearly 30 years and have helped over 58,000 satisfied clients sell their home. I know what matters most: a quick sale and maximum profit. Find out what your guaranteed offer will be and close in as little as 21 days. There's no obligation. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
Are you confident your retirement portfolio is protected in today's inflationary environment? Risk management against inflation has never been more important. Join Bulwark Capital's Zach Abraham for a special inflation webinar Thursday, Thursday, June 27th.
With the election looming, continued global unrest, rising cost of living, and this crazy market volatility, protecting retirement portfolios has never been more critical, and it's our #1 focus.
Don't just ride out inflation. Join Zach for his live inflation webinar Thursday, June 27th.
We do it always seeking opportunities to lower risk, lower cost, and give you as much upside as possible.
Don't miss Zach's special inflation live webinar Thursday, June 27th. Register now at knowyourriskradio.com. That's knowyourriskradio.com.
Investment advisory services offered through Trek Financial LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Investments involve risk and are not guaranteed. Past performance doesn't guarantee future results. Trek 24244. Go to knowyourriskradio.com.
There's a fiesta coming to Globe Life Field, and you're invited. Join the Rangers on Saturday, June 22nd for Mexican Heritage Night and a custom Rangers cap. Thanks to Coca-Cola, the first 15,000 fans will snag the black and gold hat. Then after the game, follow the crowd out the door and into the Arlington backyard for Viva Tejas, presented by Terramana Small Batch Tequila and featuring artist Gerardo Ortiz. Don't wait. Get your tickets now at Rangers.com.
This year, resolve to take care of all of those pesky home repair projects you've been putting off in an easy, stress-free way. The Good Contractors List has fully vetted contractors for all of your home projects, from cabinets to concrete, windows to water damage. The Good Contractors List has the pro for you. And even better than that, they back all their contractors with a $10,000 guarantee. So you're not left with an unfinished project if something goes awry. Promising such a hefty guarantee means the Good Contractors List has to carefully select only the best contractors with a proven track record of solid work and great business ethics. Stop worrying that your project could go sideways and find your stress-free home contractors for every project at thegoodcontractorslist.com. That's thegoodcontractorslist.com.
Every story eventually comes to an end. This June, hear the final episode of Season 2 of the hit podcast series In the Red Clay, Durham. In the Red Clay tells the unbelievable true story of Billy Sunday Burt, the most dangerous man in Georgia history. In the podcast that people are calling riveting, incredibly moving, captivating, and addicting. Binge Seasons 1 and 2 of In the Red Clay now, wherever you listen.
DFW's News, Talk, Traffic, and Weather Station. News Talk 820 WBAP AM, Fort Worth, Dallas. 93.3 WBAP FM, Haltom City, Dallas. And 99.5 KPLX FM HD2, Fort Worth, Dallas.
Streaming live on our free mobile app.
A Cumulus media station.
Trending now.
The big place where you can watch the Dallas Mavericks take on Boston in Game 5 tonight. I'm Eric Bushman from the Novak Motors News Desk.
ClassicChevrolet.com. WBAP's first traffic and weather.
On the ones.
We've been dealing with a couple of crashes on 75 northbound this afternoon. One's in Dallas at Caruth Haven, blocking the left lane. That's causing a stop-and-go jam back from Mockingbird. And the other's in Plano at Spring Creek Parkway. Right lane blocked here, and you're moving slow from Parker Road. With WBAP, first traffic and weather on the ones. I'm Colin Ellis.
Why do so many Texans love Classic Chevrolet and Grapevine? We're the #1 Chevy dealership in the world. New Silverados, more than anyone. Malibus, Blazers, Equinox. Gotta visit ClassicChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive. Based on new Chevrolet registrations 2023.
Very disturbed weather in the Gulf being watched very closely. Now has a 70% chance of developing into a tropical system as it moves towards South Texas later this week. Could spread some scattered heavy downpours into the Metroplex at midweek, watching this very closely. Rest of the day, isolated storms, otherwise sunny and hot. Highs 93, heat indices to 102. Clouds increase tonight, lows in the low to mid-70s. Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you. For WBAP News, I'm meteorologist Mark Thibodeau at the Weather Channel.
92 degrees in Dallas, 93 in Fort Worth. This news brought to you by the Wilhite Law Firm. North Texans rooting for the Dallas Mavericks are invited to a watch party at the American Airlines Center tonight.
Game 5 of the NBA Finals will tip off at 7:30 when the Mavericks play the Boston Celtics in their rivals' home turf. So far, the Mavs are 1-3. Despite the deficit, DFW fans have been purchasing Mavs merchandise since the best-of-7 series started.
I just came and got some of this gear for my dad, my nephew, and my best friend.
Fans will need to purchase a $10 ticket to get inside the AAC. Doors open at 6 p.m. Watch parties will be hosted across the Metroplex. Nicole Osei, WBAP News.
Houthi rebels are claiming responsibility for attacks on U.S. vessels. U.S. Central Command says the Iranian-backed terror group launched 2 anti-ship cruise missiles, which struck a commercial ship in the Gulf of Aden near Yemen. White House National Security Communications Advisor John Kirby says the attacks by the Houthis are causing needless suffering for the region.
They don't care a whit about Palestinians in Gaza. And this isn't some principled stand they're taking. It's terrorism, as I said, pure and simple. And it has to stop.
Kirby also confirms the U.S. is sending thousands of metric tons of goods into Gaza and will continue to do so. Your Money News, more business growth being celebrated in North Texas with Governor Greg Abbott delivering remarks at the grand opening of the Vehicle Accessory Group's new headquarters today in Mesquite. The governor also participating in a ribbon-cutting ceremony for the company's new headquarters. The Vehicle Accessory Group manufactures accessories for cars. The governor joined by Mesquite Mayor Daniel Ailman Jr. and other local leaders. The Dow's up 189 points, NASDAQ up 168, the S&P 500 up by 42. Again, the high today 93, it is 92 in Dallas, 93 in Fort Worth. I'm Eric Bushman. Your next news update is at 3:30. Check back several times throughout your day and keep connected DFW to News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3. WBAP salutes Westlake. Westlake, thank you for listening today to News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3.
This hour on WBAP is brought to you by the Wilhite Law Firm Injury Lawyers. Go to WilhiteWins.com.
That's WilhiteWins.com.
Hey there, welcome. This is The James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Welcome to the big show. Well, back when we were kids or even young adults, plastic surgery was kind of a novelty. It was something that only really rich people got or connected people got or people in extreme situations got, and then it became very mainstream. And then Nip Tuck came out, and it was kind of cool. And now it's everywhere. I mean, there's people who are in their 20s getting elective plastic surgery, and it's so normal. It's just considered part of our healthcare system just about. But now that we have this weird segment of the plastic surgery realm that's got a lot of people scratching our heads, and I get questions about it on a lot of James shows. I'll bring you 2 examples. Number one, there's a dude in Canada who he's part of the LGBT community, and he wants both. He wants a his and hers downstairs. He wants, because a lot of times they want to change, like instead of having this, I want the other. Well, he wants both, and I've never heard of that before. I think it might be a medical first. So, look, let's just stop speculating about it. Let's ask an actual plastic surgeon. Dr. Robert Schwartz is on the show, because let's just start at the basics here. Welcome to the show, Robert Schwartz.
Oh, hey, James. Good to be on the show.
All right. So in doing a little research to talk to you, I wanted to go look up the Hippocratic Oath, because we all know the first do no harm, but it's actually like 5 paragraphs long and talks about things like keeping medical information confidential. But how do some of these stories mesh with the first do no harm?
Well, we're talking about this specific story.
Yeah, well, let's just talk more in general, because we see in a lot of these, people are cutting off body parts that work perfectly fine, and it's not for a medical reason. It's either for an aesthetic or, I don't want to say mental reason, but I mean, that's just for lack of a better term.
It's obvious. I think it's a problematic situation for a lot of doctors who are in this situation now, because it seems like as a society, our views on this subject have changed very dramatically in the last 10 years. And I think, healthcare is in a way struggling to keep up with that, with where society seems to have gone with this, or at least part of society has gone with this. Does that make sense?
Right. Well, because we didn't have this question when we were kids. There was no girl at my high school that wanted to cut off her chest electively.
Right. Nor did we see very much of this. I mean, a lot more recently than that. I don't know exactly when you were in high school, but this is a phenomenon that's really manifested mostly within the last 10 years, and maybe even less than that. So I don't know that there's really consensus over this within the medical community over how to handle this.
What do they teach you in medical school?
So well, I went to medical school in the 80s, and so this didn't come up at all. And even in my training in plastic surgery, we had no training at that time in any sort of transgender surgery, and this would have been in the mid to late 90s. I never saw a single case ever. It wasn't covered on our board exams. None of this was there. So are there people of my generation who do these surgeries? There are, but they didn't learn it in residency, or if they did, it was the rare training program that included this in any way at that time.
Well, I find myself in a little bit of conflict about this because, my libertarian sensibilities say, if you're an adult, you can do whatever you want with your body. That's your domain. And if you want to cut off your left hand, even though it works just fine because you feel like you don't want a left hand anymore, I disagree with it. I think it's dumb. I think there's something mentally wrong with you, but I don't think it should be illegal. However, my gray area comes in. Isn't there some sort of code of ethics within the doctor community that should stop this? And I really don't know the answer to that, Robert.
I think this becomes really complicated. And look, like you, I'm a libertarian, and my feeling is if an adult wants to do something, even if I think it's a bad idea, so long as they're willing to accept the consequences of whatever action they want to take regarding themselves, and it doesn't affect anyone else in a negative way, then you should be free to do it. That's just, my own particular, and I guess your political angle on this. But you're totally right on this in terms of the standpoint from a doctor, because if someone's coming to you to cut off their hand, you start to get into, no matter how badly they want it, you start to get into the dilemma of, well, you started with this, are we doing no harm here? It's kind of tough to make that argument. And, you have to make a very careful determination. Is this based on mental illness, or is there some legitimate reason to cut off their hand? I'd be hard-pressed to say that there is. I mean, even if someone says they identify as a one-handed person, I would have a hard time as a surgeon removing that hand for them. If they want to do it and they can find someone to do it, great. I don't know that that's for me.
Right, and a lot of people use that.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say a lot of people use that hypothetical example as an analog to, some of the trans surgeries where people are having perfectly fine working body parts cut off for preference.
Well, I would look at it the opposite way, is that if we deem it acceptable to cut off functioning genitals and remove them, you have to. It logically extends to the argument you can cut off a functioning leg as well.
I know that's where it gets weird.
This becomes I'll cut out an eye, or it just becomes it's not even a slippery slope. It's all one and the same at this point.
Can you hang on for another segment? I know I only scheduled you for one, but I don't know what your schedule is because I have some more questions. We're talking to Dr. Robert Schwartz. He's a plastic surgeon. He's here in town. I've seen some of his work, and I mean, I've seen some of his work, and it's fantastic. rsplastic.com, but I just need to pick his brain because I have so many questions about this new plastic surgery arena that we haven't had to deal with except for the last 10 to 5 years. If you have any comments or questions for Schwartz, 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. This is The James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
Get the WBAP app to listen to WBAP free on your mobile phone. Open the App Store icon on your phone's home screen. Search WBAP. Click the download arrow, then open. You'll be asked a couple of questions. Click Allow to receive WBAP breaking news, traffic, and weather text alerts. Click the play button at the lower right and enjoy News Talk 820, WBAP, and 93.3 FM free.
Hey, homeowners, have you ever tried to hire a home service contractor and then you end up thinking, man, how nice would it be to find a company that'll just call you back, much less show up on time? James Parker here. I want you to remember this name, Paradigm Roofing. If you ever need to repair or replace your roof, I checked in with these guys, met the owner, Greg Hiltz, shook his hand, looked him in the eye. This guy's serious about precision roofs and making the experience as smooth as possible, but he's also serious about, number one, returning phone calls, and number two, showing up on time. There's also a couple other things he does that you would like. He's really got the three big promises he's making you. Number one, there's going to be a full-time job supervisor to your project that will be there, that is accountable for everything. And number two, his cell phone number is on every contract. So if you're not happy with the crew, you can call the owner of the company. And I know this because someone called him during our meeting last week. And then number three, he has transparent pricing and estimates. You're not going to be surprised. There's no hidden cost that's going to pop up at the end. So that's what we're offering you. Paradigm Roofing, 972-542-7774, 972-542-7774. If you're putting a new roof on your home, that's a big job. You do not want to play Google Roulette. You want to call Greg at ParadigmRoofs.com or 972-542-7774.
Shane Mullen again with Mullen & Mullen Injury Law Firm. If you're injured in an accident, you want a law firm that will get you the most compensation. Recently, we reached a confidential 7-figure pre-suit settlement for a really neat client, and he saved well over $100,000 in attorney fees. Watch out for expenses, too. I don't charge any expenses for my investigators, videographer, editor, or director. Call me for a free consultation. 214-INJURED. Online, mullenandmullen.com. No recovery? No expense or fees. Been that way since '83. Mullenandmullen.com.
At Affordable Dentures and Implants, our Snap Secure dental implants will let you eat and speak with confidence at a price that's affordable. So if you think you can't afford dental implants, think again. Our 16 general dentistry practices in the Dallas-Fort Worth area are open to serve you. Schedule a new smile consultation by calling 1-800-DENTURE or visit AffordableDentures.com to find the practice near you. That's 1-800-DENTURE or visit AffordableDentures.com. Schedule your new smile consultation today. Affordable Dentures and Implants.
Go ahead and smile.
Did you know that feeling sluggish or weighed down could be a sign that your digestive system isn't working at its best? Taking Metamucil every day can help. Metamucil fiber powders help promote your daily digestive health using a plant-based fiber called psyllium. The gelling action of this special fiber traps and removes waste so you can feel lighter and more energetic. Metamucil, promoting digestive health for a better you. Learn more at metamucil.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Grainger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
We're dealing with a new crash in DeSoto, blocking the exit ramp from southbound 35E to Pleasant Run Road. Traffic stacking up back around Daniel-Dale. Looks like close to a 10-minute delay. Still have those two crashes on 75 northbound. One's in Dallas at Caruth Haven. It's blocking the left lane, causing close to a 10-minute jam from Mockingbird. And the crash in Plano actually just cleared 75 northbound at Spring Creek Parkway. Still look out for some unwinding congestion around Parker Road. With WBAP First Traffic, I'm Colin Ellis.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. If you're like many people, you may think custom blinds is a job for expensive professionals. Well, at Blindster, if you have a tape measure and a screwdriver, you can install our custom blinds and save big. Plus, we guarantee they'll fit. Blindster.com.
This report has been sponsored by Rumble.com. Rumble is on a mission to give people the freedom to be entertained. Join Rumble and enjoy exclusive content from creators who are empowered to express themselves freely. Visit Rumble.com or download the app and watch for free.
Stimulating talk. News Talk 820 WBAP.
And now on FM at 93.3.
Hey there, welcome to the James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. We're talking about a difficult conversation here because I think a lot of us agree that if you have a kid and you're doing something that sterilizes them for life and it's something that can't be undone, it's definitely unethical. But I found a weird one that has me asking question marks. Double mastectomies, even for younger kids. Now, technically, this doesn't meet my definition of sterilizing anyone, and it's something that can be kind of undone. You won't ever be able to lactate, but I guess you could go back and have implants put in. But since I have all these question marks around it, I'm bringing in help. Dr. Robert Schwartz, rsplastic.com. He's a local plastic surgeon, does fantastic work. But can a double mastectomy be undone? I don't even know the answer to that somewhat simple question.
Not completely, no. So at that point, what you're dealing with is you're essentially dealing with someone who's had what would originally have been a cancer operation, which means removing all of the breast gland tissue and maybe or maybe not the nipples. All honestly, I'm not sure if the nipples are removed in the course of these operations for transgender surgery or not. I don't have experience in that particular surgery. So you can rebuild sort of the mass of the breast in a lot of different ways. The simplest way is to put in an implant. And even when the nipples are missing, you can sort of recreate a nipple in that you can make sort of a bump there, although usually not a particularly prominent one, and you can tattoo in the coloring. So it's a reasonable simulation, and reconstructed breasts can look pretty impressive, but it's not going to be a functional breast. So it's not going to have, the nipple's not going to have sensation. You're not going to be able to breastfeed. So you can sort of, to some degree, reconstruct a breast, but you can't really fully recreate the breast.
Right, and that puts it in a gray area for me because, look, like, if you're an adult, you want to do it, fine. If you're a 17-year-old that's saying, I'm going to commit suicide if you don't do this to me, I can see how a parent would be sympathetic and want to try it because it's something that, although it won't be a functioning breast, it can, if they change their mind and they reconcile with their gender, they can at least socially, publicly speaking, look normal again.
Well, I can give you sort of some basic concepts that we look at in cosmetic surgery and sort of evaluating these kind of things, particularly on teenagers.
Please do.
So for the most part, for the vast majority of cosmetic surgeries, my personal practice and that of most plastic surgeons for cosmetic surgeries is that we don't do them on anyone who's too young to sign their own consents, meaning 18 and over. So I've had parents bring teenage daughters in to see me for breast implants, and I just won't do it. I feel like these are operations that the person themselves needs to be old enough to give their own consent for it.
Yeah, I found that weird too. I heard about a 17-year-old girl getting that done, and I thought, isn't that illegal?
It's not illegal, but I wouldn't do it, and most plastic surgeons I know wouldn't do it. I literally had this situation happen, this is probably 10 years ago, and I was operating at a surgery center, and I had scheduled a patient for surgery, and what had happened was they had used a fake ID. The mom had brought her, had come in with her at the consultation. They'd used a fake ID, and we were scheduled for surgery on the day of surgery, and the nurse came and said, how do you want to handle these consents? Because apparently they had slipped up and admitted the girl was 16.
Oh, my God. Who are these parents that want to make their child a sexual object so bad? You don't have to answer that. That's a hypothetical.
I wouldn't have an answer for that. It's certainly not mom of the year on this one. So,
well, where's dad? Hey, can you make my 16-year-old daughter an object of lust as soon as possible? I don't recall a dad ever saying that.
Yeah, dad was never to be seen in this thing. I don't know what dad's role was in this.
Weird. Okay.
But I canceled the surgery. I just don't do breast implants on underage minors. I'm just not going to do that. Now, are there exceptions to this? Yeah, there are some exceptions. Ear pinning surgery is a cosmetic surgery that you can do on kids really as young as about 6. And there is some value in that.
Ear pinning, these are the people that have like Dumbo ears and you lay them back?
Yeah, they have really prominent ears, and you basically pull them, you suture them back against their head. So the argument for that is that the ear is 85% of its final adult size by the time you're 6. You're not going to really change anything. And you sometimes spare these kids years and years of being teased and picked on. So there's some definite benefit to that. The other exception is sometimes breast reductions for girls whose breasts have gotten so large as teenagers, and it happens where they can't participate in sports. They're in pain all the time. There's a legitimate argument for that. You still try to wait if you can, but there's a legitimate argument for doing that. For most other things in cosmetic surgery, it's hard to come up with a compelling argument as to why this has to be done on someone who's a minor. And so, if I'm not going to put breast implants in a minor, I have a hard time justifying doing mastectomies for a cosmetic purpose on the minor. The other thing you got to keep in mind, if anyone came to me for any surgery saying, if I don't get this surgery, I'm going to kill myself, that's not a good idea to do surgery under those circumstances.
Yeah, it's like surgery under duress.
Yeah, well, I'm under duress and they're under duress. There's more things that need to be. If someone is considering killing themselves over a cosmetic surgery, that their emotional issues have to be addressed first. I'm not saying that their emotional issues are illegitimate, but they need to be not in that place where they're pinning that much on the surgery. There are people who have much less extreme versions of that who will tell you, I want to get my nose done because I don't like the way it looks, and because of that, I don't go outside anymore. I won't go to the mall. I don't go to show. I don't like because I feel like I'm hideous. And when you look at them, yeah, they have a nose that has a bump in it or something that's not ideal, but their level of distress over this is way past what the objective problem is. These are people with something called body dysmorphic syndrome, and you don't want to operate on them because they're not in a good mental place to have this surgery, and you can make them worse by doing it.
Is there a big debate going on in the plastic surgery world about some of these issues right now?
There's a debate. I don't know how big a debate there is. It seems to me, I can tell you, every meeting that I go to, a few years back, none of these things were discussed at all. And now they're discussed a little bit. So in other words, there are seminars and sections on transgender surgery and the various surgeries involved and the ethics involved. It's still not a very big part of plastic surgery.
But when you go to like plastic surgeon conventions, this isn't something they're promoting.
Yeah, they are actually.
Oh, well, that's why I wanted to talk to a plastic surgeon.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about promoting that. I don't know if I can necessarily put it that way, but it's being discussed. Surgical techniques are being discussed. I've seen seminars on how to market to these patients, all that sort of thing. So I guess it is promoting. So I don't, there's for some people there's a business aspect to this, I guess, but it was something that I can tell you, to whatever extent, it's still a small part of plastic surgery and even of cosmetic surgery, but it's a much bigger component of it than it was even a few years ago, where it was, you'd never hear anything about it. There'd be like a handful of talks about it, and now it's being discussed much more frequently.
All right, Dr. Robert Schwartz, if there's a woman listening right now and she's thinking about getting implants, or my wife is talking about getting them to look like they did 20 years ago, what does that look like? How do they get that process started?
Simplest thing is you can just go to my website, which is my initials, Robert Schwartz, rsplastic.com.
And what would you...
Phone number's on there. You can schedule a consultation, and we'd start with a consultation where we sit down with you for about an hour and go through what the issues are, and I give you a detailed explanation of what the surgery would be involved, and we go from there.
Well, what would you say to my wife, who is, like I said, she wants them to just look like they did when we met, but if I say, hey, if you wait 10 years, you'll probably need it even worse, so why don't you just wait? When's the right time to have that? Is it called a lift?
Yeah, if she's looking to raise them up because they've sagged, it's a lift, and sometimes it's implants too, like to restore a little bit of the fullness, particularly in the upper part of the breast that tends to sort of deflate with pregnancies and breastfeeding.
That's exactly how she sounds right now. Yeah.
Yeah. So my answer to that is, yeah, in some sense, yeah, we're all just getting worse. The problem with waiting 10 years is that's 10 years that you're not going to like the way you look. So
true.
For this kind of situation, my general recommendation is, if you're through having kids, or you're probably through having kids, now's probably the best time to do it. You're never going to be a better surgical candidate than you are now. You're never going to get a better result than you will now. So by waiting 10 years, you're not getting more for your dollar by doing it.
All right, you see that, baby? I asked for you. All right, thank you, Schwartz.
All right, good talking to you.
Got to run. rsplastic.com. His name is Dr. Robert Schwartz. I saw some of the work he did 20 years ago. Fantastic. I'm a big fan of his work. Partially why I'm so skeptical of the double mastectomies. It's like, wait, you want to take boobs out of the world? I'm trying to add boobs to the world. 800-288-WBAP. Coming up next, we're going to play Dead or Alive. This is the James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
In the wake of the recent storms, the residential metal roofing professionals at Mueller Inc. stand with the neighbors as we begin to rebuild together. Hi, everybody. Hal J. here. Before you replace the roof on your home, be sure to consider all of your options, especially those that can help prevent roof damage in the future. Residential metal roofing from Mueller offers outstanding protection against Mother Nature. When installed to specifications, their roofing is designed to withstand winds up to an excess of 100 miles per hour. Plus, Mueller offers a wide selection of colors to give you the beautiful look you want for your home. When you choose Mueller, they will be with you every step of the way, from design to manufacturing to delivery. And they back the products with limited warranties of up to 30 years and over 85 years of experience. Call 877-2-MUELLER or online at MUELLERINC, MuellerInc.com. Be sure to tell them Hal J said to call.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low, it just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
Only at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly. Be 21.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
All properties will be released and sold on a first-come, first-choice basis this Saturday, June 22nd. Texas's first new lake in over 30 years. For the first time ever, you can buy one of these new lakefronts directly from the developer, starting at only $99.9. Yes, you can own a lakefront home site on Texas's most talked-about lake for under $100,000. Located 60 miles north of Dallas, this incredible property boasts 3 miles of gorgeous shoreline, sweeping lake views, a multi-million-dollar clubhouse, lakefront pool, fitness center, on-site marina, walking trails, and so much more. Call now to get more info or to secure a spot at the grand opening of 5 Points. And maybe you can take home a lakefront on the most coveted lake in Texas right now. All properties will be released and sold on a first-come, first-choice basis this Saturday, June 22nd. So call now, 800-675-1800. Beautiful Bow Dark Lake from only $99.9. Call 800-675-1800. 800-675-1800. 800-675-1800.
DFW's News, Talk, Traffic, and Weather Station. News Talk 820 WBAP. And now on FM at 93.3.
Streaming live on our free mobile app.
A Cumulus Media Station. Trending now.
The president raises millions at a Hollywood event. I'm Eric Bushman from the Novak Motors News Desk.
ClassicChevrolet.com. WBAP's first traffic and weather.
On the ones.
A heavy construction delay is built up on your way toward Rockwall on 30 eastbound. They've closed down the left lane at Del Rock. Traffic stop and go all the way back from Rose Hill Road. Looks like about a half hour of extra commute time. In DeSoto, still have the crash southbound 35E blocking the exit ramp for Pleasant Run. That's causing close to a 5-minute delay from Daniel Dale. And a crash was cleared in Dallas, 75 northbound at Caruth Haven. Still some extra congestion unwinding from Mockingbird. With WBAP, first traffic and weather on the ones, I'm Colin Ellis.
Why do so many Texans love Classic Chevrolet and Grapevine? We're the #1 Chevy dealership in the world. New Silverados, more than anyone. Malibus, Blazers, Equinox. Gotta visit ClassicChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive. Based on new Chevrolet registrations 2023.
WBAP forecast. Chance of storms this afternoon, otherwise mostly sunny, a high around 95 degrees. It is 94 in Dallas, 93 in Fort Worth. This news brought to you by Reliant Air Conditioning. President Joe Biden attended a campaign fundraiser in Hollywood over the weekend, and at one point, former President Barack Obama guided the president off the stage, raising concerns over his age. Here's Fox's Peter Ducey.
If anybody has any concerns about President Biden's ability to
continue the duties of his job for more than 4 more years. They are putting out his backup, the vice president, on the world stage, this time at a Ukrainian peace summit in Switzerland.
For President Joe Biden and me, it is one of our defining missions to uphold the international rules-based order, to defend it, strengthen it, and promote it. And no doubt it must be a priority for us all.
The Trump campaign saw that, and they counter with the following. The Biden-Harris ticket is the weakest, worst, most incompetent in history. The American people look forward to the day Biden shuffles back to Delaware and Kamala cackles her way back to California.
The former president was campaigning in Michigan over the weekend. Your money news. So tonight, of course, is Game 5 of the Mavs-Celtics NBA Finals. But the new Mavs owners with casino ties, well, they're waiting on legalized gambling in Texas as they plan for a new arena. New Dallas Mavericks governor Patrick Dumont stated the families with casino ties that recently bought the club are taking a long-term view over gambling prospects in Texas. The Dumont and Miriam Adelson families are likely to pursue a new arena to be built with a casino resort sometime after the lease at the American Airlines Center expires in 2031. Dumont also said the timing is uncertain on when Texas lawmakers might clear the way for casino gambling. The Dow closed up 189 points, NASDAQ up 168, the S&P 500 up by 42. Again, the high today in the mid-90s. It is 94 in Dallas, 93 in Fort Worth. This news also brought to you by Mueller, Inc. I'm Eric Bushman. Your next news update is at 4 o'clock. Check back several times throughout your day and keep connected, DFW, to News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3.
From the Mullen & Mullen Law Firm Sports Desk, sports. From 96.7 and 1310, The Ticket.
Dallas Mavericks once again facing elimination in the NBA Finals ahead of Game 5 tonight. Their Game 4 victory on Friday forced the series back to Boston. Kyrie Irving set to deal with a contentious crowd once again.
Call it what it is. When the fans are chanting Kyrie sucks or anything, they feel like they have a psychological edge, and that's fair. And of course, if I'm not making shots or turning the ball over, that makes it even more of a pressing issue, right, that they can stay on me for.
Mavericks have won 7 of 11 road games this postseason, while the Celtics have not lost consecutive games since April 9th and 11th. It's a 7:30 tip-off on ABC. Texas Rangers in a bit of an offensive slump as they prepare for 3 games with the Mets. Right fielder Adolis Garcia among those struggling at the plate. He is 8 for 52 in June with 15 strikeouts. 3 games with the Mets start tonight at Globe Life Field with John Gray on the mound at 7:05. And former LSU head football coach Les Miles is suing the school for vacating 37 wins during his tenure as head coach. The move dropped his career winning percentage from .665 to .597. Coaches must have at least a 600 win percentage to qualify for the College Football Hall of Fame. I'm Kevin Landrum.
Brought to you by the law offices of Thomas J. Henry.
Thomas J. Henry has been featured in Forbes magazine, Fortune magazine, and Bloomberg Business Week for securing record-breaking results for clients injured in accidents. For more info or to start your claim today, visit tjhlaw.com. San Antonio, Texas.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples can print anything you need to move your business forward, like banners, flyers, signs, and catalogs, some even same day. And now at Staples, save up to $50 on your print purchase. Offer ends 7/6. Visit staples.com/print for details. Boost your business with Staples, your local print and marketing expert.
The most important election in our lifetime. Decision 2024. Our nation is at a crossroads. Keep connected, DFW, for 24/7 coverage. News Talk 820 WBAP.
And now on 93.3 FM.
Hey there, welcome to the James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Are you a fan of Tucker Carlson and or Roseanne Barr? Because they are going to be at the Dickies Arena in Fort Worth September 24th. And I'm about to give away a pair of tickets to see them on Dead or Alive. It still sounds weird just to say, because 20 years ago, 15 years ago, you would have never guessed Tucker Carlson would be on tour with Roseanne Barr. Like, these two things didn't have any overlap until about the last 10 or so years. And now it sounds like a great ticket. So tickets are on sale now. If you can't play Dead or Alive right now, you can go to tuckercarlson.com. I think they just went on sale on Friday. So there's still some seats left, but someone's going to get a pair, hopefully, on today's edition of Dead or Alive. All right, thank you, Mr. Jovi. Welcome to today's edition of Dead or Alive. I'm going to name 10 celebrities. You have to tell me if they're dead or alive. It's a 50-50 shot on all of them, even if you don't know who they are. You got a 50-50 chance of getting it right. Whoever's left at the end of the row here, they're going to get the pair of tickets to see Tucker Carlson live tour with special guest Roseanne Barr, Dickies Arena, Fort Worth, September 24th. Tickets on sale. TuckerCarlson.com. Jason and Prosper, you're going to be my first contestant, maybe my only contestant if you get them all right. You ready to play Dead or Alive?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's do it. First, former Cowboy Cliff Harris. He was basically their safety for the entirety of the 70s. Is he dead or alive?
I would say dead.
But did you mean to say alive?
I'd say dead.
Okay, well, I tried to give it to you and you wouldn't take it. He's alive.
Oh, my bad.
That's all right. All right, next up is going to be Larry in Arlington. And if you want to get in line, maybe Larry's going to get one wrong. 800-288-9227. You ready, Larry?
I'm ready. I'm ready, Big James.
That'll work. Carl Weathers. I know him as Chubb from Happy Gilmore. You may know him as Apollo from Rocky. Carl Weathers, is he dead or alive?
I remember from in Heat of the Night. He's dead.
He is dead. Died this year. David Cassidy from the Partridge Family, dead or alive?
Alive.
No, I'm sorry. Dave Cassidy passed away in 2017. All right, thank you very much for playing. I appreciate the attempt. Hey, you just hang up and call back. Maybe you can get in the back of the line. Isaac in the GBC for the non-East Texans. That's Gun Barrel City. Are you ready for Dead or Alive, Isaac?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we are now on Clint Howard, the brother of Ron Howard, and he's been in like 1,000 things. Golden Pond and Little Nicky and Waterboy. Is he dead or alive?
He is dead.
Clint Howard? No, sir, he's alive.
Oh, lost in the first row.
I appreciate you even trying, sir. Thank you very much. Ron in North Richland Hills. You ready?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Nell Carter. I'm sorry, I skipped one. Barry Manilow. Is he dead or alive?
I'm going to say alive.
He is alive. Next one was Nell Carter from Gimme a Break. Dead or alive?
Nell Carter is dead.
Yes, she died in 2003, so it's been a while. David Soul, if you don't recognize that, he's the blonde one from Starsky and Hutch. I had to Google it. That one's Hutch, Bruce. But David Soul, he is dead. He just died earlier this year. I'm kind of surprised at that. Mavericks legend, the tallest center we've ever had, Sean Bradley, dead or alive?
I'm going to say dead.
No, Sean Bradley is still alive. He's only 52, but that's why we play.
Okay.
All right, thank you very much. Thanks, Ron. Let's go to Sheena in Dallas. Are you ready for Dead or Alive? You only got 2 left.
Okay.
All right, first one is Lamont Sanford, the son from Sanford and Son. His real name's Damon Wilson. Is he dead or alive?
Alive.
He is alive, 77 years old. And finally, Peter Frampton. Is he dead or alive?
Alive.
He is alive. Well done. So guess what, Sheena? You are my winner on Dead or Alive. So you're going to get a couple of tickets to see Tucker Carlson and Roseanne Barr. Do you want to go, and are you able to go?
Of course, yes.
All right, fantastic. Well, then we have ourselves a happy little match here. This has been Dead or Alive. All right, again, Sheena in Dallas just won a pair of tickets to see Tucker Carlson live with special guest Roseanne Barr, Dickies Arena in Fort Worth. September 24th. For the rest of us, if we want tickets, you're going to have to go to TuckerCarlson.com. Now, Sheena, don't hang up. I'm putting you on hold. Garrett will get your information, and we'll email you those tickets. You know, there's past episodes of Dead or Alive floating around on the Facebook page for WBAP. If you like that game and you want to do some more, you can play at home. So stay put. More James Show coming up next. It's News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
The one thing we know for certain is the United States is going to be one intense place this fall.
Tucker Carlson is coming to DFW at Dickies Arena.
So we thought, what better time to hit the road and see the country? And we're going to this fall. From coast to coast, we're going on a live tour with a bunch of friends of ours who you will recognize. We're going to be live on stage responding to everything that is happening in real time. It's going to be fun and interesting and a great way to spend your fall. So I hope you'll join us.
Tickets on sale now at TuckerCarlson.com or win your tickets here. News Talk 820 WBAP.
And now on FM at 93.3.
At the Wilhite Law Firm, we handle accident cases differently.
If you're injured, we'll drive to your home to meet you. We'll return every call and keep you updated every step of the way. Here's the difference. We were awarded Best Law Firm in 2023 because we work with you side by side. We win big for our clients. Texas-size settlements big. Get your free case review at willheightwins.com. That's willheightwins.com. willheightwins.com. Don't delay. Click today.
Prior results do not guarantee similar outcome.
Hi, it's Carla, and if a storm has hit your neighborhood already this spring, call the roofing company I recommend, Old Pro Roofing. Old Pro Roofing is a family-owned DFW roofing company specializing in all types of residential and commercial roofing systems. At Old Pro Roofing, they follow one simple idea. Treat your customers and employees right, and success will follow. And you see that idea the minute one of their staff comes to your home to inspect your roof. Trust your home to an Old Pro. Go to oldproroofing.com or call 817-929-ROOF. oldproroofing.com.
Hey, North Texas, we all like new things now and then, a new car, new clothes, the latest TV, maybe a new recliner. That's what I'm talking about. Hi, Brad Barton for Clarity Windows. We upgraded our windows years ago, and they still look and operate as brand new. Clarity replaced some of the old wooden French doors that we had with new fiberglass exterior French doors at least 10 years ago, and they still look and operate like brand new. Clarity's 5-star design experts can show you the best ways to spiff up your home with new low-profile window frames, a whole rainbow of colors, and your home's going to be brighter, cleaner, quieter, and you're going to save a lot of money on heating and cooling costs month after month as long as you own your home. And to keep it in your budget, Clarity's taking 20% off every other window and door. Fall in love with your home all over again. Call Clarity at 1-888-458-3630 or click them online, ClarityWindows.com. Timeless beauty and year-round savings are yours when you trust Clarity Windows and Doors.
Bring clarity to your home. Clarity Windows and Doors.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. An important message about your timeshare from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. Contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about timeshare cancellation.
Call 800-653-1188. 800-653-1188.
Progressive presents 10 things on a contractor's to-do list that are harder than getting a commercial auto insurance quote. Bidding a new client, giving an accurate estimate, finding affordable materials, getting a client to pay you for work you already did, getting a client to pay you, period, securing permits and workers and tools, getting those workers and tools to work together, and finding the perfect pair of overalls. Pockets, baby. But the easiest thing on a small business owner's to-do list? Seeing if you can save on commercial auto insurance. Get a quote in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage subject to policy terms and conditions.
Can peace of mind fit into just 3 fruits and 3 veggie supplements? Yes. We start by sourcing the best fruit and vegetable ingredients. We ensure that all our produce meets our rigorous standards in order to give you the highest quality product possible. They are then washed, cut, and put through an advanced vacuum cold process that removes the water using pressure. We then take great care in grinding them into a fine powder. These powdered ingredients are then mixed and encapsulated, locking out air and moisture. The capsules are then bottled and shipped right to your door so you can experience your own personal Balance of Nature success story.
I've looked at other supplements out there, and they don't have what Balance of Nature has.
Balance of Nature really was the game changer. I'm serious, it works.
Go to balanceofnature.com and get 35% off plus $10 off any additional sets as a preferred customer by using discount code DALLAS.
We have a new crash in Dallas on 75 southbound just before Walnut Hill. It's blocking 3 right lanes. Traffic already bumper to bumper back from Coit. Give yourself at least an extra half hour to get through. There's also a new crash on eastbound 635 after Hillcrest. This one's blocking 2 right lanes. That's about a 15 to 20 minute delay from Montfort. And we're still dealing with close to a half hour of construction slowdown heading toward Rockwall. On 30 eastbound, they've closed the left lane at Dalrock. Your stop and go there from Rose Hill Road. With WBAP First Traffic, I'm Colin Ellis.
This report has been sponsored by Rumble.com. Rumble is on a mission to give people the freedom to be entertained. Join Rumble and enjoy exclusive content from creators who are empowered to express themselves freely. Visit Rumble.com or download the app and watch for free.
From the Airco AC Heating and Plumbing Studio, this is News Talk 820 WBAP, and now on FM at 93.3.
Hey there, welcome to the James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Well, the presidential debate is sort of the next big thing on the WBAP calendar. Look, it's coming up, and it's coming up quick. June 27th. It's going to be in CNN's Atlanta studios. No audience present. We have the muting of the mics if the other guy's talking. This is going to be weird. This isn't going to look like the other presidential debates that you've seen. But where are you watching it? We're now 10 days away, and we're not going to rent out a place and have like an official WBAP party. So I want to know, where's your party? Do you have plans for a debate watching party? Is someone else having one and you're going to it? Because I was invited to one thus far, the Dallas Jewish Conservatives, who were nice enough to invite me to one of their other events. They're like, we're going to have a watching party. You're more than welcome to crash ours if you want. Should we just go to that one? Should we make our own? Is there a big one that's happening that I don't know about that you're about to tell me about? You can call in right now, or if you're busy, you can just send me an email later, james@wbap.com, or any other way you want to reach out to me. The most common way is still Facebook Messenger, which is fine. A few people have found me on like Instagram or some of these other platforms. X is another big one. But look, you can remember james@wbap.com. And I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I don't know if we're going to have our own party or if I'm going to crash someone else's, or maybe we'll go to the DJC party. But I am not telling. I am asking, where are you watching the debate? 800-288-9227. 800-288-9227. I have no plans as it stands right now. Call me up. Invite me to your party. There's a good chance I'll go. Also, something else I'm looking for. This is sort of my community calendar segment, if you haven't noticed. Where's the pro WBAP gun range? Because I live way out in Bug Tussle. I live about an hour and a half, almost 2 hours that way. And out in Bug Tussle, I have a friend with a gun range. But also, I could just go to the ranch at my parents' house and shoot guns whenever I want, right? But if I'm up here for work, I can't do that. I can't. I have lots of friends in Dallas. I can't go into any of their backyards and start firing off rounds. Well, without negative consequences. I mean, I guess a lot of people do that. But I mean, I don't want to get arrested. And I don't want to go to any gun range. I don't want to play the Google roulette thing where I do gun range and then I go to someone who doesn't even listen to the show or know WBAP exists, or maybe they hate this station. I don't want to do business with people until I know I haven't passed up a listener first. So if there's a WBAP friendly, if there's a guy who owns a gun range that likes WBAP, or more specifically the James Show, I can be flattered straight into your facilities. But I'm looking for one of those. It's a dilemma because, growing up in Bug Tussle, I never had to worry about this. I could go out into my backyard and just shotgun, machine gun, anything. And that used to be the best. I used to walk around with a gun in the woods behind my house. Can't do that anymore. Nope, now I'm a city mouse. And the other thing that other people have reached out to me for that I'm going to run by you to is a weekly meetup. I've been on other shows, even in the Dallas area, where we had a weekly meetup, like on a Wednesday or whatever. And it started off as some people just wanted to shake your hand and buy you a beer and ask you some questions and have a conversation. And the show's not that big, so really you can hang out with anybody. You could probably talk to everybody that is willing to come out to, say, like a midweek meetup, like a midweek drink. And then as the show grows and expands and that crowd gets bigger and bigger, that's something we could sell to a bar or a restaurant or a venue like a House of Blues or something, and we could have like a weekly meetup and I can actually make money off the thing. But that's really just a side benefit to just having a social aspect to the show, so I'm not just a random voice barking at you through a speaker. I'm that guy downtown that you hang out with sometimes. So your thoughts on a weekly meetup, where would it be? Now, I personally, very self-centered and selfish, and since I work downtown by the American Airlines Center, I would like to do it across the street. Why? Because that's what's convenient for me. However, I recognize that downtown Dallas is not the reddest area of the DFW Metroplex, and we probably have a higher concentration of our listeners and would get a better turnout if we had it somewhere like a Plano or a Frisco or a Keller. So not only do you want to do it, where would you like for it to be? And again, and also, if you're a dude who owns a bar and you love the James Show, let me know. Maybe I'll just have it there if it's convenient and it can accommodate some people. I would like to reward the people that listen to the show. I would like to reward you and your business if you listen to this show, if it's something I'm going to do anyway. Now, there's some other thing I've been asked to do that I'm not going to do, but I'll share it with you because maybe I'm wrong and I could be convinced otherwise. But I have too many people who are in their 40s, 50s, 60s who gripe to me about dating apps. Who gripe to me about the single scene, who gripe to me about how hard it is to be single, especially the divorced crowd that, you know, you're off your game. You haven't had to play this game in a couple decades, and now all of a sudden you're a little lost. No, I am not going to start a James Show. I do not have plans, do not want to start a James Show weekly group that's like a singles mixer. But I do understand that if you are looking for someone for some companionship, finding someone who also listens to this show means y'all are already going to agree on most of the super important issues that drive a wedge between a couple people. And you don't want to get someone that you think is great and y'all get along fine, and then you find out later that they find out how you vote and now you're labeled a Nazi and all that work and effort was just ruined. It was just wasted time. I mean, so I'm a maybe on that, but I don't want to. But again, it's because I'm self-centered and a little bit selfish, and I'm not single, so what do I care? I don't want to meet single people. But I understand you do, and I understand the point that's been made to me by a few people, and it is kind of convincing. That wouldn't it be nice if James Show listeners could meet each other at WBAP, the ADL crew? Like if you had a dating pool and you could only choose from the dating apps, I would understand why that would be fraught with peril and disappointment. But if your dating pool was just ADLs, was just all-day listeners for WBAP, sounds like, I don't know, a solid maybe. So if you have answers for any of those questions, where's the debate watching party? Or if you're not going to one, where should we have it? Where's a pro WBAP gun range? And where's a pro WBAP venue for a weekly meetup? Just like a happy hour, get some drinks after the James Show. I'll just meet you at 6 o'clock somewhere after work. And I need the answer to those three questions. Debate watching party, gun range, weekly meetup / bar, tavern, saloon, pool hall, whatever you got. So 800-288-WBAP. You can email me, james@WBAP.com, or you can find me on Facebook because you know how to find people on Facebook now, don't you? Coming up next, we're going to talk to Raven Harrison. The Biden administration is throwing up a weather balloon about a new amnesty program. Details next on News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
Are you dreading the idea of dental implants? There's no need to worry. We have Dr. Steve Brown of the Dental Implant Place here in the Metroplex. Dr. Brown is a pioneer in the minimally invasive technique that gives you a beautiful smile, reduces healing time, is much less painful, and in most cases, costs less than other dentists in our area. Dr. Brown has placed over 12,000 implants and has trained other dentists throughout the country in this revolutionary technique. Along with a compassionate, experienced staff, the whole team at the Dental Implant Place is ready and able to help you realize your dream smile.
I want to meet with you personally. Minimally invasive techniques, all-inclusive pricing, all in one place, and compassionate care. See the difference for yourself at thedentalimplantplace.com. That's thedentalimplantplace.com. Your new smile is here.
Mention this ad and receive 15% off your total price when starting new treatment in the month of June. Financing excluded.
Donate to Junk for Joy. Donate to Junk for Joy. Donate your card today to Junk for Joy. Donate to Junk for Joy. Donate to Junk for Joy. Donate your card today to Junk for Joy.
Donate your card today at junkforjoy.org. You'll get a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
Donate your card today to Junk for Joy.
Donate today and your car will be picked up by tomorrow.
Did you know that feeling sluggish or weighed down could be a sign that your digestive system isn't working at its best? Taking Metamucil every day can help. Metamucil fiber powders help promote your daily digestive health using a plant-based fiber called psyllium. The gelling action of this special fiber traps and removes waste, so you can feel lighter and more energetic. Metamucil, promoting digestive health for a better you. Learn more at metamucil.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Granger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgranger.com or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
I'm sitting here hanging out with my good friend Rob Vaughn from Reformation Roofing and Construction today. Rob, tell me what the first step is, the most important thing to do when beginning a construction project in your home.
I think the first thing that is important for a homeowner to figure out is the big picture. What do you want? Why do you want it? Why are you looking to renovate? Is your home ugly or your cabinets ugly? You just don't like them? Or is it insurance related? Do you have damage that's forcing you into this position? So set your priorities. What do you want versus what do you need? And then regarding that budget, not only how much you want to spend, but also how do you allocate the funds that you've got?
Great advice, Rob. What's the best way to get a hold of you to get a quote?
You can give us a call or text at 940-210-3009. That's 940-210-3009. Or you can go to our website at roofingreformation.com.
Well, you heard Rob. Call or text him at 940-210-3009 or go to roofingreformation.com. That's roofingreformation.com.
It's that time again for the Texas Yes Drive Away for Education raffle, sponsored by Thomas J. Henry. Each school year, Texas Yes supports thousands of students statewide with school supplies, greater access to literacy, and classroom grants. You can help by purchasing your raffle ticket today. The winner gets to choose a new Chevy, Nissan, Jeep, Volkswagen, or Kia. Purchase your raffle ticket today and help support students statewide. Visit TexasYesProject.org. That's TexasYesProject.org. Winner responsible for tax, title, license, and federal withholding.
Create the space of your dreams with help from United Ag and Turf. Right now, you can save up to $5,500 off 25-horsepower John Deere compact tractors. Perfect for small property owners and first-time tractor buyers. Save even more on 5E Series utility tractors and get up to $9,500 off with qualifying competitive trades. The time to buy is now, but hurry, demand is high and inventory is limited. Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com for more. Ends 7/31/24. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
As soils go from dry to wet to dry, our foundations are taken along for the ride. Serious damage can ensue. If you're seeing signs of what you fear might be foundation issues, let the experts at Advanced Foundation Repair do their thorough evaluation on your home's foundation. It's free, and if you don't have foundation problems, they'll tell you so. Their work is affordable, and it's guaranteed for the lifetime of the home. Advanced Foundation Repair, 214-333-0003, foundationrepairs.com.
DFW's News, Talk, Traffic, and Weather Station. News Talk 820 WBAP AM, Fort Worth, Dallas. 93.3 WBAP FM, Haltom City, Dallas. And 99.5 KPLX FM HD2, Fort Worth, Dallas.
Streaming live on our free mobile app.
A Cumulus Media Station.
Trending now.
Where to catch the official watch party for Game 5 of the Mavs-Celtics NBA Finals, I'm Eric Bushman from the Novak Motors News Desk.
ClassicChevrolet.com. WBAP's first traffic and weather.
On the ones.
75 southbound before Walnut Hill, the right lane taken away. A 40-minute backup there into the high 5. A 635 eastbound at Hillcrest got a couple of right lanes blocked off. A backup to the Dallas North Tollway there. And in Fort Worth on I-30 westbound at Chapel Creek, there's one off to the shoulder, but still heavy back to Las Vegas Trail. For WBAP's first traffic on the ones, I'm Monty Cook.
Why do so many Texans love Classic Chevrolet and Grapevine? We're the #1 Chevy dealership in the world. New Silverados, more than anyone. Malibus, Blazers, Equinox, got them. Visit ClassicChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive. Based on new Chevrolet registrations 2023.
I'm WFA meteorologist Kyle Roberts. We do have some low-end rain chances over the next couple days, but none of those days will be washouts. Tonight it's a low of 75, then tomorrow partly sunny with a high of 92. Maybe a passing shower or storm out there. Wednesday's a high of 93, a 30% coverage of showers and storms. 90 for the high on Thursday, 10% coverage of rain, and by Friday, things are looking dry with a high of 93.
93 degrees in Dallas and in Fort Worth. This news brought to you by the Wilhite Law Firm. North Texans hoping for a win tonight for the Dallas Mavericks are invited to a watch party at the American Airlines Center. Game 5 tips off at 7:30 with the Mavericks playing the Boston Celtics for Game 5 of the NBA Finals. So far, the Mavs are 1-3, and despite that deficit, DFW fans have been purchasing Mavs merchandise since the best-of-7 series started.
I just came and got some of this gear for my dad, my nephew, and my best friend.
Fans will need to purchase a $10 ticket to get inside the AAC. Doors open at 6 o'clock. Watch parties will be hosted across the Metroplex. Dallas police are asking for the public's help to catch a teenager who is suspected in 2 Pleasant Grove murders.
17-year-old Pablo Veliz is allegedly the gunman in a shooting on May 2nd that claimed the life of Isaac Aguirre. Investigators say Aguirre was fatally shot and 2 others were injured when a fight erupted after a minor car crash in Dallas. Veliz is also suspected in the fatal shooting of Arzo Jones in December 2023. Crime Stoppers is offering a $5,000 reward for information that leads to Veliz's arrest and indictment. You can check out his photo at WBAP.com. Nicole Osei, WBAP News.
Your money news: the deadly implosion of an experimental submersible en route to the deep-sea grave of the Titanic last June has not dulled the desire for ocean exploration. Tomorrow marks the 1-year mark since the Titan vanished on its way to the historic wreckage site. The U.S. Coast Guard quickly convened a high-level investigation into that disaster, but officials said no results will be released for at least another 2 months. The Dow closed up 189 points, NASDAQ up 168, the S&P 500 up by 42. Again, the low tonight 76. It is 93 in Dallas and in Fort Worth. This news also brought to you by Waters International Realty. I'm Eric Bushman. Your next news update is at 4:30. Check back several times throughout your day and keep connected, DFW, to News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3.
This hour on WBAP is brought to you by the Wilhite Law Firm Injury Lawyers. Go to WilhiteWins.com.
That's WilhiteWins.com.
Hey there, welcome to the James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Let's go. Well, one of the surprise stories of the day is Joe Biden is not running away from the immigration topic anymore. He's actually running into it because they have selectively, what a coincidence, 4 anonymous sources from within the Biden administration White House have leaked to CBS News, all just randomly 4 people to the same outlet to super duper confirm and make them comfortable running the story. What a coincidence. But the fake leak is about a proposal that's amnesty. Now, they're putting a lot of different words around it. This is a path to citizenship, or this is a pardon in place. And okay, well, we know what it really is. It's amnesty. Now, they're trying to say this is only going to be for undocumented immigrants, illegal aliens who have lived in the U.S. for 10 years and are married to U.S. citizens. Raven Harrison's back on the show. Welcome back, Raven. Your thoughts on this new Biden administration amnesty proposal?
You are so right, James. They give it lots of different words, and the same is treason, and it is a dumpster fire. It was a dumpster fire when Reagan tried this back in the 80s. We had a similar where all of a sudden he legalized people here. It did nothing to curb what was happening at our southern border. Instead, our population rose from 5 million illegals to 11.1 million illegals in 1986. So I am always really, really important to give credit where credit is due. It was a disaster when the Republicans tried this in the 80s of giving sweeping amnesty, just legalizing people coming through this border and cutting the line. And the same thing will happen, except for now they're being given credentials and registered to vote.
See, the registered to vote, I talked to a lawyer earlier from the, I think it was Heritage Foundation, who said even if they do get this passed and through, they won't be able to vote in this upcoming November election, but they're playing a long game with this.
I disagree with that. I think that we have proof, we have conclusive and forensic proof that's come out of Michigan, that's come out of Georgia, and that's come out of Arizona that proves that they have been voting in our elections. That's why they were brought here. So there is no other purpose for that of showing that we have houses with multiple, 500 ballots coming from the same address, people who had died. There is lots of evidence that illegals have been coming to vote and they're being given the information on how to vote. So why are you giving people who are illegal to this country information on how to vote on our elections, whether they use it or not? Why is that being distributed with our tax money to people who are not in this country legally? And what does that say, James, to the people who have spent thousands of dollars and waited in line and just don't have the ability to walk and crawl through our southern border to not be rewarded with citizenship? These people have done it the right way, and they're being pushed back in line for people who cut.
Yeah, that's always an ethical damnation to any amnesty plan, is how much it screws over the people who went through all the hurdles and did it the right way. Totally agree there. Here's another reason this surprises me, though, Raven, is immigration is one of the things that's hurting Joe Biden the worst. His lax stance on the border is one of the reasons why people say in so many of these polls that he's lost support. Why would he lean into it at this point?
Because right now what they want to do is they want to go full throttle. The Democrats do want to go full throttle of making Joe Biden the scapegoat. They know he's not going to make it. They know he's in decline. So the strategy is to pin everything on Joe Biden, do everything they've ever wanted to do, push through every radical legislation, you know, all of this, knowing it's unpopular. Then you villainize Joe, and then you put him out to pasture. So and then you slip in Gavin Newsom, Michelle Obama, whoever it is, that they're going to, oops, look, you know, this person just happens to want to run that nobody saw, wink, wink, coming. And that's how you do it. You frame Joe, and then you put him out to pasture, and that way he's the bad guy, and whoever it is gets to still live with the fruits of all that cheating, but they don't get the stigma and they don't get the scrutiny that comes with having to run against President Trump.
I like that theory. So you think that's what's going on here is this is all just a setup, and they may ditch Biden before the election?
Correct. I think that what's happening is it's going to depend on Biden. He is falling apart in record time. They thought he was going to push them out, but they can't leave it on Kamala because she can't carry it. She will lose the nomination. She will lose, and they know it. So they have to hold him out as long as they can until they can get a suitable replacement. All the signs are there. That's why they get so mad. All these videos of Joe freezing up, everybody can see this, but they're still gaslighting. Oh, these are fakes. They're not fakes. This is Joe Biden in real time falling apart, and everybody can see it. It's just whether they're too angry at what the media is telling them. They're telling them they have to be mad at Donald Trump. You have to. And if you don't, you're a racist or some other if, we decide. So what people have to remember is you can see this with your own eyes. And you know, this guy showered with his daughter. He has access to nukes. There is no decency that exists as a person that would vote for that.
Yeah, and for a lot of people who haven't seen that, that's what we're going to be doing in the next time. I mean, if there's another weekend, another freezing video, just like last weekend he froze at the Juneteenth concert. This weekend he froze at the Hollywood fundraiser. And yeah, since the James Show started, the White House came out and said, whoever's saying that he froze, they're just doing a cheap, fake edited video to slander our president. No, I've seen that.
Speaking of cheap fakes, okay, at the White House, okay, Karine Jean-Pierre would know all about that. She is the cheap fake that exists here. Everybody can see that. We can all see that he freezes and he had to be helped off stage, so she needs to take that back to somebody else.
Well, I like I would like to see the Democrats take my approach. Like, yeah, he freezes, but what is important is the policy positions he supports. Whether or not he can articulate them perfectly isn't really important compared to, you know, what the next guy wants to do. But they're not running on policy. They can't do that.
Well, they're sure as heck not running on articulation. That guy can't articulate anything. We don't even know what he's talking about half the time, and neither do they. So all they want to do is their only platform. Trump bad, MAGA Republicans terrible, Republicans are responsible for everything we're doing, and it is nonsense. People see through that, even Democrats. This is not about, you know, there's some really good people out there who are Democrats. They just believe on a different way to get to the promised land, but it is not through a guy who has dementia and access to nukes.
Were you watching the debate?
Yes.
Yeah, the debate is in 10 days. Are you going to a debate watching party?
I will be hosting one, and yes, we will be live streaming and having some fun. We've got the popcorn ready, so any Patriots who really we're going to have the bingo on their card of anybody who says, he may not even actually make it to the debate from some stupid excuse, but we've got get your Patriot bingo ready.
All right, send me some details on that, James at WBAP.com, and we'll talk about that the next time you're on, because I bet you'll be on before the debate happens.
You got it.
All right, Raven Harrison, RavenHarrison.com if you want to find more info on her. James Show regular, one of my favorite guests, RavenHarrison.com. And coming up next, we're going to talk about that latest freeze video that Raven had just alluded to, where he's on the stage at a fundraiser, and he is between Jimmy Kimmel and Obama, and he starts to walk off, and he kind of does the freeze thing. He does the freeze frame, kind of like a AFK for my gamers out there. We'll talk about that next on The James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
The one thing we know for certain is the United States is going to be one intense place this fall.
Tucker Carlson is coming to DFW at Dickies Arena.
So we thought, what better time to hit the road and see the country? And we're going to this fall. From coast to coast, we're going on a live tour with a bunch of friends of ours who you will recognize. We're going to be live on stage responding to everything that is happening in real time. It's going to be fun and interesting and a great way to spend your fall. So I hope you'll join us.
Tickets on sale now at tuckercarlson.com or win your tickets here. News Talk 820 WBAP.
And now on FM at 93.3.
Listen, I feel like things are off. You're just so extreme. I always thought of you as smart and reliable, but you're not. We've been so cold in the bedroom, and at the end of the day, you say one thing, but the feeling I get in our home is just completely different.
Honey, who are you talking to?
It's just our thermostat. I can never get it to match the temperature I set it at. I can't keep living this way.
I think it's time to call a professional, babe.
You set your thermostat at one temperature, but the actual temperature of your house takes forever to match it, or maybe never does? You don't have to live like that. This is a very common issue. It means your AC is never getting a break. Milestone's professional, licensed, background check technicians are equipped to easily diagnose and solve your AC problems. To solve your AC problems, go to callmilestone.com and mention WBAP for $200 off today.
We'll fix it in a flash. You wouldn't know it, but most financial advisors are put in a box. I'm Jeff Jr. from Trajan Wealth, and I want to provide you a little insight about financial advisors. Most financial advisors have to sell what their company requires them to sell, and many advisors have to only adhere to what's called a suitability standard. A suitability standard is a limited standard of care, not requiring what's sold to be best, just suitable. Advisors with this loose standard often have limited investment and product selection. Trajan Wealth is held to a fiduciary standard, which is the highest standard of care in the advisory business. And that's just one of the many reasons we have billions of dollars under our care and attract clients from other advisors. Raise your standards today and call Trajan Wealth. Call 469-579-3500. 469-579-3500.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
The reason I know Soda Weight Loss works is because it has worked for me for over 6 years. It's changed my life. Who would ever work out in a power outage? I did. And who can help you so easily, even while you're in a hotel in between houses with the power down? Julie, my personal nutritionist from Soda Weight Loss. They are the key. She's amazing. Listen, how fast do you want to let go of that weight for good? Click one simple button and go to sodaweightloss.com, click one button, and say 15%. It's incredibly easy. Just click request a nutritionist callback and a Soda nutritionist will be on the line before you know it. Push the button. Do it. You get your own personal nutritionist at Soda Weight Loss. They are real nutritionists. At a grocery store, no problem. Out at a restaurant, trying to figure out a menu, on a trip and need advice, they're only a text away with real solutions to help you stay on track. It's not a trend, we're a movement. Go to sodaweightloss.com, SOTA weightloss.com. Soda Weight Loss is, say with enough state-of-the-art. Soda. State-of-the-art weight loss.
75 on the southbound side before Walnut Hill. 3 right lanes taken away for the wreck there. An hour-long backup stretching all the way back to Mid-Park. A 635 eastbound to Hillcrest. That one's finally off to the shoulder, but the 25-minute backup remains to about Webb Chapel. And in Fort Worth, I-30 westbound at Chapel Creek, one clearing, but slow back to Cherry Lane. With WBAP's First Traffic, I'm Monty Cook.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance flexes to fit your business's needs. From quick repairs to adjustable coverages and even payment options, Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Quote today in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
This report has been sponsored by Rumble.cloud. Introducing Rumble Cloud, a platform that supports business freedom and innovation, where high performance meets pricing predictability. Visit Rumble.cloud to get started.
Good luck, Mavs, and the NBA Finals. We're rooting for you. News Talk 820 WBAP.
And now on 93.3 FM.
Welcome to the James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Well, Joe Biden was at a fundraiser in Hollywood. He had another freeze moment. Some of the biggest celebrities known to man were out there supporting the incumbent president in his re-election bid. You know, I think I might play for you tomorrow Jack Black. He had a few minutes to say a few words on stage. Doesn't really fit in here. It'd be its own little separate topic, but I think I'm going to have that on tomorrow's show. And I have to separate the art from the artist when it comes to these situations. And all you people who like to boycott people who disagree with you politically, man, that's tough for me. Number one, I'm a libertarian. So if I only listen to libertarian music and watch movies that were starring libertarians, I could watch what, like Vince Vaughn and listen to Muse, I suppose. There's not a whole lot of options for me. I think Billy Corgan is in my political team, so maybe I could listen to Smashing Pumpkins, but I wouldn't be able to watch anything. We're only 2% of the population. So I've never had a big enough team to where I could even think about doing the boycott thing. But one of the things that upsets me is when, like Robert De Niro goes out and says horrible things about Trump, is how many people who are on Team Red who's like, oh, he's a washed up actor. He's a terrible actor. Anyway, he's not terrible. He's a great actor. He just came to a different political conclusion, and I didn't expect him to be politically smart to begin with. That's not his wheelhouse. That's not his area of expertise. I don't expect him to have good political opinions any more than I expect the guy mowing my lawn to be able to do heart surgery. I mean, these are two different things. But that aside, the real story that comes away from it isn't what the people on stage were saying, isn't the content of the event itself. It's this moment where he's going off stage, and at the end, there's sort of the farewell, and there's a live band behind him, and they start playing the walk-off music. And it's Joe Biden in the middle. Jimmy Kimmel is on his right, the host of The Tonight Show, or the ABC equivalent, or whatever it's called. And on this left side, former President Obama. They start to walk off. They're waving goodbye as all three of them are walking off in a line. And they have Joe Biden in the middle, Jimmy Kimmel's in the back now, and Barack Obama's in the front. However, Joe Biden decides he's going to stop. Now, you can joke about why he decided to stop. Maybe he saw like a 8-year-old in the front row that he wanted to sniff really bad. But he stops and he keeps waving and kind of catches Kimmel and Obama off guard. And so politely, they're like, well, if he wants to take a second, we're not in a hurry. We could take a second. We'll just stand here and wave too. But we're supposed to be walking off. So after about 8 seconds of him just frozen, just deer in headlights frozen, Barack Obama takes a step over toward him, grabs his arm like, hey, bud, kind of gives him like that little toddler tug, like, hey, it's time to go, kiddo. And Biden gets the message, oh, yeah, we're leaving. And he starts to walk. And you can see Obama put his hand on his back. And some people are saying that Obama basically led him off or kept his hand on him to make sure he didn't have any other freezes or deviations, because he does that defective Roomba thing like he did in Normandy last week or a couple weeks ago. And now that the tape is out there, people were sharing it out, saying, look, he had a freeze again. Well, the counter to that, because how do you argue with a videotape? There's a whole bunch of people who are going out there saying he didn't freeze. This was a selectively edited tape. Here's what really happened. And then they show you a selectively edited tape to make their case. And you also had Karine Jean-Pierre come out and say that wasn't a freeze at all. Whoever says that to you is lying. And You saw it with your own eyes. You don't believe what you saw with your own eyes. So I am enjoying watching these people have to defend what anyone can see with their own eyes. Let me give you a sample of how do you defend this. I find this so fascinating. All right, you're not going to know who a lot of these people are, but they are big left-wing influencers, all on X/Twitter, and they all have hundreds of thousands. Some of them have millions of followers. But David Hogg said, in response to the original New York Post story about, hey, Joe Biden freezes and has to be let off by Obama, like that's the headline, he says, for the record, this did not happen and is a total lie. Go watch the video. Go watch the unedited video. There's plenty of people who had cell phone video of an unedited clip from a good angle where you can see everything I described happen. And it's not that big of a deal. It doesn't disqualify him from running for president or from being president. But Harry Sisson says, MAGA is lying again. The new lie is that Biden had to be let off stage by Obama and that he froze, but that is completely false. Well, it's not completely false. Whether or not he had to be let off stage, he was let off stage. I don't know if he had to be or if he would have figured it out if we had let him sit there and he would have unfroze after a few seconds. But it did happen. It's not completely false. You may question the motive or whether or not it was going to happen naturally anyway, but you can't say it's completely false. Brian Tyler Cohen said right-wing media is becoming so desperate, they're just making up fake stories out of thin air. Bro, nobody's desperate on this one. This is about the 500,000th video you have seen of Joe Biden looking dazed and confused. And it's probably not hard to come up for anybody who's in their 80s. You could probably find quite a few videos of me looking dazed and confused too. Why are they pretending like it didn't happen? Why are they pretending like something you saw with your own eyes? They're still telling you this didn't happen. Oh, I'm sorry. That was a 7-year-old girl in the front row. I think I had that part wrong. Well, corrections are in order. Alex Vindman says, rag, propaganda, garbage, peeing into the wind because New York City will still vote for Biden bigly. It's not propaganda. It happened. They have the video posted. Rufus Gifford said nothing remotely close to this actually happened. Dude, for all the people who are so concerned about disinformation or the truth or fact checking, they are going out there and straight up trying to tell you that what you saw with your own eyes didn't happen. And again, Rufus, you can't say nothing remotely close to this actually happened. Something remotely close to this happened. It may not be 100% correct, and we have no way of knowing whether or not he had to be let off stage, but he was let off stage. Obama went over there and grabbed him by the arm, got his attention, put his hand on his back, curved him around to the offstage. Andrew Bates says, fresh off of being fact-checked by at least 6 mainstream outlets for lying about POTUS with cheap fakes, Rupert Murdoch's sad little super PAC, the New York Post, is back to disrespecting its readers and itself once again. Yes, telling the truth is disrespecting your readers. Angela Bel Camino, she's the Biden girl with the 5 head. She said this video does not show Biden freezing up and being led off stage by Obama. Damn, your eyes are deceiving you again. Juanita Broderick, one of Bill Clinton's first rapes that we know of, said they're scared S-less, shirtless, but the ugly version of it. Every time Joe goes on stage or opens his mouth, they are vomiting fear, and it's beautiful. How weird would it be to be her and having to comment on politics on Twitter these days? But there's a reason most of the people that were making these criticisms of the original New York Post story, they weren't posting the actual video. They didn't post an unedited video. But look, I'm not saying he's full-blown senile and demented, but the videos don't lie. He walks different than he used to. He has a gait that is indicative of someone who is in mental decline. He does have weird gaps in speech patterns and articulation. It's okay. If that was my guy, I would be making the case that, hey, a free market capitalist who's a little bit senile and walks funny is way better than a socialist who can hop, skip, and jump the Ninja Warrior course. But it's like he's not totally gone. It just feels like Are you a gamer or are you too old? Because ask your kids when they're playing Xbox and you know how they don't wire the controllers in. They're wireless. So every once in a while, the controller will lose connection with the console unexpectedly in the middle of the game you're playing. And you have to wait for about 10, maybe 15 seconds for your controller to sync back up. And on your screen, your dude is sitting completely still, frozen in whatever position he was in when the controller disconnected. Meanwhile, the action's going on all around. The whole game's still happening. There's bullets flying or whatever. And then after about 15 seconds, your controller reconnects and you go back to whatever you were doing. That's what it looks like. It looks like you just dropped your controller for a few seconds and whoever's running the Biden robot, it reconnected and you got going. But your eyes are not lying. He did freeze, and that's okay. It's okay. You don't have to lie about it. It's okay. Coming up next, we're going to talk to Donovan Lewis, co-host of The Invasion on our sister station, 1310 The Ticket. And the Mavs game is tonight. Again, put up or shut up time. We'll preview it next on The James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP. Now on FM at 93.3. Joining me, Bob Lavelle, Home Marketing Services. I noticed the Fed didn't cut rates last week. They promised us 3 rate cuts this year, Bob. I bet you we get one in before the election happens. But for people who are sitting on the sidelines because they're waiting for a better rate, they don't need to wait. They need to call you.
That would not be a bad idea, James. As a matter of fact, I love talking about some of your listeners that are now homeowners. We had a new one Friday. They closed on their home, and a beautiful home it is. They got a beautiful 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 3-car garage, 2 living areas. They bought it north, which, it gets pricier, but their interest rate that we ended up getting them was 5.25%. 5.25% in this market of 7.5%, 8%. Now, this is a couple that you and I talked about after she had called in. Their realtor just cut them off right away and said you would need $100,000 down to get a house minimum. They moved in for about $12,000. $12,000 on a $550,000 house means they paid very, very little down. Brand new home, great area. And it's another success story of one of your listeners that was told no. But when you do it right, HMS, we can make things happen.
That's amazing because the difference in getting a 7-something% and that 5-point-something% is hundreds of dollars per month. So not only can he get you in the house, he can make it more affordable than it otherwise would be. That's the glory of Home Marketing Services and Bob Lavelle. 972-392-9595. 972-392-9595. Bob has blessyourheart.com or 972-392-9595. Thanks for another success story, Bob.
Thank you for your listeners.
Ever since I was a kid, I looked up to my dad. Man, he could fix anything, including power generators. That puff of smoke and the sound of the machine roaring with electricity was the coolest thing ever. He'd give me a high five and say, "Son, you're the Kennerator." Since then, I've spent decades building my company with one goal, helping people like my dad did. And now, I own the best generator company in DFW. See our story at Kennerator.com. Like generator with a K. Kennerator.com.
DFW's News, Talk, Traffic, and Weather Station. News Talk 820 WBAP. And now on FM at 93.3.
Streaming live on our free mobile app.
A Cumulus Media Station. Trending now.
Growing criticism over the recent Biden administration order over the border. I'm Eric Bushman from the Novak Motors News Desk.
ClassicChevrolet.com. WBAP's first traffic and weather.
On the ones.
Brand new problem spot on I-30 eastbound at Hampton Road. That one taken away 2 left lanes, already slow back to Westmoreland. Now 75 southbound at Walnut Hill. The 3 right lanes are closed off. Hour-long backup there almost to Beltline Road. And 635 eastbound at Hillcrest. That one's clearing but slow back to Webb Chapel. With WBAP's first traffic on the ones, I'm Monty Cook.
Why do so many Texans love Classic Chevrolet and Grapevine? We're the #1 Chevy dealership in the world. New Silverados, more than anyone. Malibus, Blazers, Equinox, got them. Visit ClassicChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive. Based on new Chevrolet registrations 2023.
The WBAP forecast, partly cloudy tonight with a low 76 degrees. It is 93 in Dallas, 94 in Fort Worth. This news brought to you by Mueller, Inc. Growing criticism over President Joe Biden's executive order aimed at border security. Florida Congresswoman Kat Cammack is criticizing the order, capping asylum applications at the southern border. Speaking to Fox.
This just makes my blood boil, because when you think about what this administration has done in the span of 4 years to undo not just the Trump executive orders and all our border security initiatives to keep this country safe and really uphold legal immigration, they are destroying communities all around this country as a result.
Republicans had been urging the White House to act on lowering the number of migrants crossing into the U.S. The White House says Republicans are responsible for blocking a bipartisan border security bill that resulted from months of negotiations, forcing the president to act on his own. Your money news, a craft beer pioneer giving entrepreneurs the support he wishes he'd had.
Sam Adams founder Jim Cook, motivated by more than the love of beer, as the slogan says, offering loans to entrepreneurs that many banks won't touch. Mom and pop types, three-person businesses. And for his faith, he has a 98% repayment rate through his business philanthropy, Brewing the American Dream.
It's something that we can do and be involved in versus writing a check. That never seemed like this great idea for philanthropy, is just writing a check and putting it in the mail.
Cook's Group not only helps entrepreneurs get access to capital, it provides coaching and support to grow the business, creating 11,500 jobs so far. Therese Crowley, Fox News.
The Dow closed up 189 points, NASDAQ up 168, the S&P 500 up by 42. Again, the low tonight around 76. It is 93 in Dallas, 94 in Fort Worth. I'm Eric Bushman. Your next news update is at 5 o'clock. Check back several times throughout your day and keep connected, DFW, to News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3.
From the Mullen & Mullen Law Firm Sports Desk, sports. From 96.7 and 1310, The Ticket.
Game 5 of the NBA Finals tonight in Boston. Dallas Mavericks dominated in Game 4 on Friday in Dallas with their season on the line. It was their first win of the best-of-7 series. All-star Luka Doncic saying the team believes they can still win it all.
I think the most important thing is to show that we believe. I think we showed in Game 4. If we wouldn't believe, we probably wouldn't won that game. So obviously the talk is easy to talk about it, but then showing it is another thing. So I think we showed it.
A win tonight, and the Mavericks will force a Game 6 back in Dallas on Thursday. Tonight's action begins at 7:30 on ABC. Texas Rangers will play 3 games against the New York Mets beginning tonight in Arlington. Just the 23rd time the two teams have met in regular season play, and the first time the Mets have ever been to Globe Life Field since the stadium opened in 2020. First pitch this evening at 7:05. And the USA golf team for the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris this summer has been decided. Colin Morikawa, Wyndham Clark, Xander Schauffele, and Dallas native Scotty Scheffler make the team. Texas Tech alum Ludwig Oberg will represent Sweden. Competition starts August 1st at Le Golf National. I'm Kevin Landrum.
Brought to you by Whole Foods Market.
Save at Whole Foods Market. Get sustainable wild-caught fresh Alaska sockeye salmon fillets for 28% off with Prime through June 18th. Go with a honey soy marinade or make it garlic herb. While supplies last, shop in-store or online. Terms apply.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive can help you protect your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, and RV, and more. And if something wasn't mentioned that you had in mind, find out if it can be covered. Visit Progressive.com or call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE, because it probably can be.
Thanks to every American heart that supports us.
We're going to stand with Ukraine.
A fleet of Russian warships are parked off the coast of Cuba.
We have great unity.
News Talk 820, WBAP.
And now on FM at 93.3.
Hey there, welcome to the James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Well, I was too pessimistic last week. I thought the Mavericks season would be over by now, but they somehow won by 38 points. Donovan Lewis from The Invasion on our sister station, The Ticket. How on earth do they go from losing the first 3 games to winning by almost 40 points?
Yeah, it kind of tells you, lets you know that the series isn't as wide of a margin as far as the teams are concerned. Then the 3-0, you see 3-0, oh, they're getting beat up. They're not, they're bosses the better team. They may be, but yeah, they just had everything fall right for them. I think their offense, which kind of let them down the first few games, was clicking. Their defense, I think, has been championship worthy throughout the whole series, was right there. So it just all kind of came together for him in Game 4.
Okay, so I'm not saying I believe this, but I'm saying it's really hard to argue with the conspiracy theorists that say it looks like someone got pulled aside by the NBA and they're like, dude, we don't want to sweep. Can we get like at least 5 games? Because they make millions and millions. If this thing goes to Game 7, they make the most amount of money. Game 6, they make a little less money. Game 4, if they only have 4 games, they make the least amount of money possible. So it feels like maybe the NBA leaned on them to just give them a game.
Man, I don't buy it, but you can see how especially with the NHL doing almost the exact same thing. They could have ended in a sweep, and then the team losing down 3 games just blew out the other team. So yeah, that's not going to quiet anyone around. But I just don't think that they really care anything about that. Yeah, it's about money and all that, but when the numbers come out, I will almost guarantee you that this is not going to be one of the highly watched series of all time, or anything like that. So I just don't buy that.
Well, there's also, you can add in the motivation for the Boston team to have the final victory in their home stadium. So maybe they're just less enthusiastic about fully participating in the last game.
Yeah, I don't buy that either, because if I'm Boston, I want to get this thing over with as quickly as I can, because if you give anyone an ounce of momentum to say, all right, they've caught fire now, so we're just going to wait to win it until we get home, I think that would be playing in some pretty dangerous waters there, and I don't think Boston wants anything to do with that.
So what's going on for the game tonight at the AAC? Because this game's in Boston, but they're having like a party. Is it in the stadium, or is it in the plaza, or both?
I believe it's in the stadium. I was out there Friday. I did post game for our station, and that atmosphere was so fun on Friday. Just to even see a ton of Celtics fans out there thinking that they were going to sweep and wait until the last minute to get there. But I think it's going to be inside. I don't think they're showing the game on the outside on the screens like they did the Stars game.
Yeah, that was fun when they did that for the Stars. Yeah. Mavs, listen up. You can do that. I would like to stand out there and watch the game for free in a cool setting, but I understand. Do we know how much it costs to get in, or is it pretty reasonable? It's not like thousands of dollars, is it?
No, not at all. I don't know the exact number, but I would have to think that it is very reasonable. They're going to open up concessions, I'm sure, so they'll make some money there, but I wouldn't think it would cost hardly anything at all to go inside.
Okay, so if they win tonight, then it's 3-2, and then all of a sudden it doesn't seem like such a long shot anymore. Is there any reason to keep holding on to some optimism?
Sure. There's always a reason to keep hope up. Now, it hasn't happened in the history of the NBA Finals.
Exactly.
So if you do it, then this is going to make history. And I said today on our show, I didn't feel like this team is ready to make NBA history. So it's just putting yourself behind the 8 ball when they have 4 opportunities to just win 1 game. And that team is probably too good to lose 4 games in a row. But you know what? If you're a huge Mavericks fan and you think that they can make history, as long as they're breathing and as long as they're playing games, there's always a chance.
Yeah, I feel like I'm being led on, though. You know, like you're on a date and we're like, no, it's fine. I'll do it later. It kind of has the same feeling like I don't want to get my hopes up because the odds are so far against me.
You know what? We as fans sometimes try to do some things to protect our hearts so we won't feel that badly when things don't go our way. And yeah, you're down 3-0. You just fully expect to lose that series. Every team before you has been down 3-0. So you're going to protect your heart and not try to dive headfirst into it because you don't want to, hit the bottom and crack your head open when you dive into that pool. But I do feel that, hey, as long as you still have life, then I think you can believe and think that it can be done. It's going to happen eventually. So why not the Mavericks? But that does kind of open you up to get your hopes up. And then if it doesn't happen, then, it breaks into little itty bitty pieces.
Are y'all doing pre and post game show over on the ticket?
Yes, sir. Pre-game starts at 7 and then post game afterwards.
And are you a part of both of those, pre and post?
No, I was 4, but I'm not scared. I'm not on the schedule for post game 5, so I'll get to watch it in my own living room.
Oh, is that just the guys who went to Boston? Would they send Corby up there again?
No, we didn't send anyone up there this time. But I will tell you what, though, it gets to game 7. hopefully they'll send us all because that would be really fun. I'd love to go up there for a Game 7.
Well, Donovan, if I have to talk to you again about Game 6 and 7, now you're going to get me excited. That's all I got to say.
No, you should be. Absolutely. Get very excited. Get excited for tonight, though.
All right, Donovan Lewis from The Invasion on the Ticket, the world's most dangerous midday show. Thanks for being on the James Show again to explain some of the sports stuff to the news people.
Love it, man. Thank you.
Thank you, Donovan. I know I don't want to get excited yet, but wouldn't it be cool if the history was finally that streak, the 154 series in a row, if that streak was broken for us? Oh, that's a big ask. Huge ask. Not expecting it. We're just dreaming at this point. Wouldn't it be cool? 800-288-WBAP. Coming up next, I'll make you laugh from the viral video rounds on your social media feed. That audio's next on The James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
So what will we talk about in the week ahead? We need a president who's strong, who leads, and instead, when you have a president who's weak, every bad guy on the globe is on the march.
We had a tremendous meeting, and there's great unity.
Guilty. A spectacular dominant performance from Luka Doncic and the Mavericks.
52 weeks a year. We've got you covered.
News Talk 820 WBAP.
And now on FM at 93.3.
Shane again with Mullen & Mullen Injury Law Firm. If you're injured in an accident, you want to hire an experienced, hardworking, local attorney. An honest lawyer will tell you there's multiple law firms in North Texas that achieve multi-million-dollar results, including my firm. In many instances, we've been able to settle cases without having to file suit, where clients only pay 29% fees instead of 33 or 35%. This puts more money in your pocket and saves you so much time. Trust Mullen & Mullen to fight for you. Call me for a free consultation, 214-INJURED, or online, mullenandmullen.com.
Accurate Foundation Repair has been helping your friends and neighbors since 1999. Over 47% of our gross revenues are referral business. You want your home fixed right? Call Accurate Foundation Repair. We'll give you high-quality steel piers at a price you can afford with a warranty second to none. Call Accurate Foundation Repair at 972-623-2500. That's 972-623-2500, or on the web at AccurateFoundationRepair.com.
Accurate Foundation Repair. We give you a lift for a whole lot less.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you know that these days, generating growth is a challenge. By teaming with Bank of America, you'll not just stay ahead of the curve, you'll move it. With access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2024 Bank of America N.A.
Progressive presents Flo and Jamie announcing the Monster Truck Rally.
And here comes the Obliterator.
Whoa! And he's up on two wheels. That can't be safe.
Oh, I don't recommend flipping your car backwards.
Did he even check his blind spot?
And the car's on fire.
I definitely don't recommend that.
This is one of my recurring nightmares.
Progressive is all about keeping it safe, so bundle your home and auto for 24/7 protection. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Coverage not provided for monster trucks. Not available in all states.
There are many things today that you cannot control, but taking care of an IRS problem is something that you can control and resolve. Hi, I'm attorney Nick Namath with the law offices of Nick Namath, located right here in Dallas. I've successfully resolved IRS cases for thousands of clients. Here's Paul's story.
Hi, I'm Paul. I owed the IRS nearly $265,000, but didn't initially call Nick Namath. I used one of those out-of-state firms, and all I got was a bigger problem. I heard Nick's ad on the radio and knew I had to call him. The calming effect of his staff gave me the confidence to know that I had called the right person to help me this time. We were able to settle the $265,000 owed to the IRS for just under $13,000.
Whether you owe $10,000 or $265,000 like Paul, let the experience of the law offices of Nick Namath help you try and solve your IRS problem. If you're facing IRS wage levies, bank levies, or tax liens, call me, Nick Namath, at 972-484-0829. That's 972-484-0829, or go to myirsteam.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies supplements, changing the world one life at a time.
That's some good stuff, I'll tell you. It really works.
I'm just really pleased with your product. I've been using it now for 3 years.
I've been taking it for a while now. I feel better. I live on the Balance of Nature. I plan on taking it forever.
I've been a very happy customer. I like the product, and I'm telling a lot of people about it.
Start your journey with Balance of Nature supplements. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com and sign up as a new preferred customer. And for a limited time, get 35% off your first order, plus $10 off any additional sets with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code Dallas.
You have a new baby on the way. You are overwhelmed by excitement and joy, but now you need a bigger house. How do you get the money for a bigger place, and how do you find the time to do it? A smaller agent doesn't have the marketing machine to sell fast and for maximum cash, and out-of-state instant offer companies offer you a fraction of the true value of your home. There is one local Texan who will make it easy and get you the highest price. The real estate agent I trust and recommend is Christopher Waters. Christopher Waters is the only agent who will guarantee your home sold for full market value on most homes. Just ask Lindy and John, who sold their smaller home at list price and moved into a bigger one all within 30 days. The secret is their database with thousands of hungry buyers and a powerful 194-point marketing plan used to maximize exposure to buyers. So if you need to sell fast for top dollar, reach out to Chris and his team at 214-689-6646 or go to ChristopherWaters.com. That's Christopher Waters with 2 T's.com.
I-30 eastbound at Hampton Road, that problem cleared out. It's unwinding from Westmoreland. Now, we do still have a pretty bad wreck on 75 southbound of Walnut Hill where the 3 right lanes are blocked off. Back up there, stretching beyond Spring Valley, over an hour-long delay for now. And Loop 12 Walton Walker southbound of the Trinity River Bridge, there's a crash in the right lane. That's slowing you back to Highway 114. WBAP's First Traffic, I'm Monty Cook.
This report has been sponsored by Rumble.com. Rumble is on a mission to give people the freedom to be entertained. Join Rumble and enjoy exclusive content from creators who are empowered to express themselves freely. Visit Rumble.com or download the app and watch for free.
From the Airco AC Heating and Plumbing Studio, this is News Talk 820 WBAP, and now on FM at 93.3.
Hey there, welcome to the James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Thank you for all the people who've already reached out, answering some of my questions I was asking a few segments ago. Looking for where you're watching the debate party, where the party's going to be, if you're already having one. And I'm not asking to be invited to your house for dinner. Just saying, if you're already having a party and it's open to the public, let me know, because I really don't have plans. And this is going to be... I don't think I've had this much fun leading up to a debate, because this is sort of, it has the same feeling that you had when the debates in 2020 were about to go down, because Joe Biden was already showing some signs of slowing down and having some weird moments. And there was a prediction by a lot of people that, mentally speaking, he wouldn't be able to last for 90 minutes on a stage with Trump. And Trump went out there with the purposeful interruptions that he kept doing. He was trying to break him. He was trying to make him snap. He's trying to make him do that angry dementia thing, you know, that your grandpa does when he starts yelling at grandma because he can't find the remote. And it didn't work. It didn't work. Joe Biden passed the test in 2020. That's the big part of the reason why he's your president right now, is he was able to weather through 2 of those. You heard similar predictions about the State of the Union, but he powered through that, didn't he? He spoke for a whole hour uninterrupted with no help. I mean, there was teleprompters there, and I don't know if he had like a cocaine IV drip or something going through his arms, but whatever they drugged him up with, or if they drugged him up at all, it worked. So here we are, 4 years down the road of decline, and he does look a little worse than he did in 2020, but he's proven the ability to at least stand up there and say things for an hour, hour and a half. And if he cruises through this is going to come straight down to who has the better turnout, Team Red or Team Blue. Because from most people's observation, this country is, at least the people that go out and vote, they're pretty well split down the middle between Team Red and Team Blue. This is going to be an operation of who gets off their couch. But the odds are greater than ever that what you may have been hoping for in the 2020 debates, or even at the State of the Union earlier this year, the freeze. Is there going to be a freeze? Is he going to freak out, or is something going to happen? that makes Joe Biden be an untenable candidate. That's the amazing thing that could happen at this debate that's happening next week that's never happened in a debate in your lifetime. Some dude could do so bad, or just really, he doesn't even have to do that bad. If he just confirms the narrative that a lot of people are concerned about on both left and right, this is the thing that could cause him to finally be replaced. And if you say, James, who are they going to replace him with? I don't know. But Joe Biden and Donald Trump have not had to square off in the same room and exchange verbal exchanges since that 2020 election. And so it'll be interesting to see that, okay, maybe Joe Biden can power through a 1 hour long State of the Union address all hopped up, but he's not having anyone hitting the tennis ball back at him. That's a one-way delivery of a monologue. That's not an exchange. That's not accepting criticism. That's not having to hear, comprehend, and respond to what someone's throwing at you totally unexpected. Everything you've seen him do in public in the last 3-4 years has been scripted. He knew who he was gonna call on at the few press conferences he had. He knew what the questions were gonna be. And remember, Trump just has that sort of personality that really could be the candle that lights the fuse on the Trump dementia meltdown. For a good example of that, I go to Shane McGillis, the comedian, who was pointing out some fun personality quirks of Donald Trump.
The night the United States killed the leader of ISIS, Trump comes out of the Situation Room at like midnight, walks up in front of the entire world at midnight and just goes, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi is dead. He died like a dog. Meanest talk you've ever heard in front of the whole world. Abu. We can hear him crying. I said, Abu, don't cry. Let me tell you something. Abu cried. He cried quite a bit. I wouldn't have cried. Crybaby Baghdadi. That's what we were all called. So they killed him with dogs and a robot. And then made fun of him for crying. It's like, dude, let that guy cry. That's the scariest death I've ever heard of. That dude was laying in his bed in the middle of the night. His wall exploded. 10 dogs and a robot broke into. Dude, 10 dogs wearing helmets and goggles broke into his house. The Paw Patrol, the actual Paw Patrol.
All right, so where's the party going to be for the debate? Let me know. James@WBAP.com, or a couple people have already found me on Facebook. It's not that hard. I have a generic name. You know how to spell it. So find me. Let me know where the debate watching party is at. Thank you for the 3 people who've already recommended a gun range. You guys are great. And if you have any other comments for the show, it'll just have to wait until tomorrow. Coming up next, Mark Levin and then Chris Crock, and I'll be back to do this from 2 to 5 every weekday right here on News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
This is Rob Wilhite of the Wilhite Law Firm. I've competed in more than 25 triathlons, but what really gets my heart pumping is helping fellow Texans injured in accidents. I'll go the distance for you. Get your free case review at wilhitewins.com.
Prior results do not guarantee similar outcome.
Hi, Brad Barton for Red Mountain Weight Loss. I think summertime may be the best time to lose weight. You're not only looking and feeling better, you're a little cooler and your clothes fit looser too. You want to jumpstart your weight loss plan? Please visit one of the Red Mountain Weight Loss Centers in North Texas. They have their own semaglutide approved by the FDA for weight loss in a dissolvable tablet you take just once a day, and it's about half the price of Ozempic. It's called Revolex. But let's start today. Visit redmountainweightloss.com or just dial pound 250 and say Red Mountain Weight Loss. That's pound 250, keyword Red Mountain Weight Loss.
All properties will be released and sold on a first-come, first-choice basis this Saturday, June 22nd. Texas's first new lake in over 30 years. For the first time ever, you can buy one of these new lakefronts directly from the developer, starting at only $99.9. Yes, you can own a lakefront home site on Texas's most talked about lake for under $100,000. Located 60 miles north of Dallas, this incredible property boasts 3 miles of gorgeous shoreline, sweeping lake views, a multi-million-dollar clubhouse, lakefront pool, fitness center, on-site marina, walking trails, and so much more. Call now to get more info or to secure a spot at the grand opening of 5 Points. And maybe you can take home a lakefront on the most coveted lake in Texas right now. All properties will be released and sold on a first-come, first-choice basis this Saturday, June 22nd. So call now, 800-675-1800. Beautiful Bow Dark Lake from only $99.9. Call 800-675-1800. 800-675-1800. 800-675-1800.